All right. Let's see if this is working. Maybe. There we go. How's it going, everybody? Yep. Looks like I am streaming NerdSync Sidekick. What's up? I get notifications from my own channel. All right. Let me pop out the chat here if I can. Why does it pop out in the dark theme? How's it going, everybody? Give me like 2 seconds to get the chat set up. Yo, yo, yo! Wow, we're getting a lot of people right out of the gate here. So the problem is, not that it super matters, but the problem is I am only lighting myself basically from my camera screen because if you remember last time, my lights ran out of battery and I didn't bother to charge them. So I'm just trying to, as you can see, I don't know if it's pretty subtle, but like how I move around the chat window affects the lighting on my face. That's kind of fun. You can actually, yeah, you can see it in the microphone, in like the boom arm here a little bit better. But anyway, let's just position it somewhere that is a little bit more out of the way so I can get a little bit more light on my face. Hi, everybody. I can't stay long, got school tomorrow. Hey, man, I understand. Doesn't look that bad. Well, that's good to know. I did put like a vignette around myself. I didn't know how to do that in OBS, so I just made a Photoshop document that was just a vignette around here. So it kind of focuses in. Let me show you before and after sort of scenario. Before, after. I could honestly do with, actually, let me see if I can actually just adjust that here. Yeah. So that looks bad. But how do I zoom out? Maybe I can't. I was going to say I could do with growing it a bit, but now I don't know how. Doesn't matter. We'll do it later. Just ignore this for now until I get it reset. You know, I'm not the most computer savvy. It has returned. Hi everyone. How many people do we have watching? Quite a bit. 20 people watching immediately. That's kind of crazy. You can tell when I switch windows, I think my face gets a little bit more light. Yeah, it gets whiter. And then I go back to here and it's a bit darker. So I gotta have to try not to do that. So anyway, if you guys recall, number one, this is Tales from the Comments live. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, so basically the way we do this, if you're new to the channel, most of you guys probably know what's happening here. But if you're new, you don't know what Tales from the Comments is because we haven't done it in a while. Basically, I take the comments from previous videos and then I respond to them live here, and then we trim this down into a more digestible format for the main channel. That's the idea. We've never actually done that. Hopefully we can start it out. Tales from the Comments has gone through so many different iterations. We used to do them live on the main channel. We used to do, I don't know, they used to be really long too. Sometimes they'd be like 20 minutes long or something like that. So I know people don't really care for that sort of thing, which is why we thought we would do it this way. Have a longer form version of it here on the Sidekick channel and have a smaller version of it over on the main channel, which is pretty awesome, pretty exciting. Woo! First live for you. Technical difficulties are great. Yeah, that's right. We tried doing one of these before, but I found out. So my plan before was I would just take the video off of YouTube, take the live stream off of YouTube, and then edit it. But even though I'm streaming in 1080, hopefully, that's what my settings are. I can only download it in 720 because YouTube is stupid. And they won't let even the people who upload the videos download them in full quality unless you want to download all of your entire archive of videos all at once, which could take a while. And it's kind of cumbersome to do one video at a time for when you only need one video. So it's really dumb. But my plan this time around to fix that so that I can upload in at least 1080 is to hit record over here at just the points when I'm responding to the comments. So while I'm responding to comments, there may, we're going to try it out. There might be some glitches. There might be some lag because my computer's kind of old and I want to be streaming and recording at the same time. I don't know if it's going to handle that, but it's going to be okay. We'll see how it is. But hi everyone. We're going to do some introductions for the video and probably just jump into it. And we're only going to be doing the last 2 videos. I know we've done a ton of videos since we've last done Tales from the Comments, but we're only going to do the last 2 videos. We're only going to do the real origin of J. Jonah Jameson and what was the other one? The Avengers. The what are the Avengers avenging? Fun stuff. So there you go. That'll be really fun to do. And the reason we're only doing the last 2 is because those are the kind of most frequent ones that I was in. Okay, cats. If you guys have seen streams before, you know that my cats act up whenever they hear me talking a lot like this because they think something's wrong. But anyway, so now I have a cat in the background. Pumpkin, what are you doing? What are you up to? I can hear her, but I can't see her. I look like I could be your twin brother. Well, I tweeted this out. I feel like I look like an adult version of Ed from Ed, Ed, and Eddie. I might make a joke about that on the live stream or on the Tales from the Comments. This is the live stream. Well, this cat, he's fine. That's Sparta. He's just kind of sleeping there. There's another cat somewhere back there, probably in my room or off to the side here. I just can't see her, and she's whining right now. I don't think it can be picked up by the mic. If you haven't seen the latest, if you haven't seen the last 2 videos about J. Jonah Jameson and the Avengers, go check them out. They're pretty fun. I especially love the Jameson one. I think that one's kind of fun to do. Or that one was really fun to do. And we have a part 3 coming out. Oh, there's the cat. Now she's at my feet. Hi. Yeah? I don't know if you guys can hear her. But all right, so I always got to do live streams on school nights. Sorry. I don't think about it because I haven't had school in forever. Yeah, you remember the cats from the Scooby-Doo live stream? Well, awesome. Well, all right, let's try it out. You want to see the cat? Well, she doesn't let me hold her, so I'm gonna try. But oh, there's Cat. You want to meow into the microphone? No, she's squirming. She doesn't like to be held. Maybe we can try the intro now, and we'll see what happens. How are you doing, you wonderful nerds? Scott here for another episode of Tales from the Comments. We haven't done one of these in a while, so here's a cat, just to make up for it. All right, thanks. All right, so I recorded there. Did everything look okay to you guys? Everything worked out well? It looks like the recording went through. That's pretty exciting. Yeah, everything looked good on your end? Hopefully, I'm going to play it back really quick just so I can make sure it's recording great. How are you doing, you wonderful nerds? Scott here for another episode of Tales from the Comments. That's pretty good. I shake my desk a lot. That's kind of a problem. Maybe I should back up a little bit. And that could give me a little bit more room at the bottom to actually display the comments too, instead of being like really up close, you know? And that will hopefully prevent me from hitting my desk, because now I'm not even touching my desk. So there we go. We're figuring things out on the fly. That looks pretty good. I might drop the camera just down a tad. Just again to give me some more room down here. Looked good. Looks good. How was my trip to LA? It was awesome, dude. I love LA. LA fills me with both calmness, it fills me with both serenity and also a ton of stress. Because when I'm there, I like to be on a kind of vacation mode. But I also know that I have to get work done here still, so I'm kind of working remotely, and that's really stressful. And also, my friends in LA are always working. They're always hustling, so I always feel like I'm interrupting their lives whenever I come, because, you know, they've got a lot of work to do on their end. They don't really get a break. I'm lucky that I can kind of choose when I want to take a break. So yeah, I don't know. It's both stressful and just really nice. I'm going to LA again in a couple weeks for a thing called ClamorCon, which will be a lot of fun. It was my favorite thing. They did it the first time last year, and I'm doing it again. It's basically like VidCon, but without any of the fans. It's just the creators hanging out together. It's like invite only, so it's kind of exclusive and kind of cool. I was only invited, like, not to toot my own horn or anything. I was only invited because of people who knew me were like, hey, you should invite Scott. And like the guys running the con were like, I don't know who that is, but if you say so. So it's not like I'm a big deal or anything. I just have friends who kind of vouched for me, which was very nice. Um, yeah, the little cat on the couch. It's a little cute touch over there. Where is he at? It's hard to point because my camera's backwards. It's like mirrored. Why did you decide to go with the SM7B for your mic? I'm an audio guy, just curious. So I made this purchase ages ago. This is the Shure SM7B. I made this purchase ages ago because NerdSync started out actually as a podcast. I wasn't super planning on doing. I had this idea of maybe doing some video stuff, but I was really into podcasting. And then I promise we'll get to the comments. I mean, these are kind of comment responses right here. But we had a Kickstarter way back in the day for the NerdSync podcast that was successful, surprisingly. And the plan was to get 4 of everything, 4 mics, 4 headsets, 4, XLR cables and everything, hook it into a mixer, 4 stands like this, so we could have like a 4-person round table. But then I realized that we mostly just recorded over Skype, and I didn't need 4 things. I needed 1 thing. So instead of buying 4 cheap microphones, 4 cheap boom arm stand things, I sold all of them. I had already bought them, but I sold them all on eBay again. And while I was on eBay, I was looking for what's like a really good professional microphone. And I didn't actually do too much research, but I came across the Shure SM7B. It was actually relatively cheap for how it's priced now, because I think I bought it used. I think it was maybe like $200 or something like that. I think Dylan told me that these go for like $350 now. So pretty okay deal. But yeah, I bought it because I figured, well, it's gonna be just me who needs it, so I might as well splurge and get something that's gonna work well, and I think it sounds pretty good. I've been using it for about 5 years now. For any sort of voiceover that you hear, that's usually this thing. Podcasting, this thingy again. So it's got cat hairs all over it, but it's holding up pretty good. I should also get a dog, but unfortunately my apartment only lets me have 2 pets. And also the cats would not like the dog. The cats have never liked dogs. Pumpkin would be scared. Sparta would just be very territorial. So my eyes are so pretty. Thank you. I actually made a conscious effort this year I used to wear glasses in videos, and that was kind of a hassle because of glare. And also, you gotta kind of know what your strong suit is, and I think my eyes are pretty as well, so I figured, let's just put them out there. I remember that whole conversation taking place on the online podcast. Yeah. If not for the Comics Code Authority, do you think we would have gotten something like Marvel Cinematic Universe earlier than we have? Maybe. I don't know if it would be as good, to be honest with you. It wasn't really, the Comics Code Authority wasn't the only reason why Marvel sold off the rights and things like that. It was, Marvel just also made a whole bunch of dumb purchases. I'm planning on making a video about it eventually, but during a time when Marvel was going bankrupt, they were like, let's spend more money and buy a sticker company and buy, a trading card company, and never do anything with it. And then they were just like, ooh, actually, this is a pretty bad idea. We have to, yeah, we're going under now. So, usually use the SM7B for metal vocals. Awesome. Yeah, I'm a fan. I like the way it sounds. This is just I'm using OBS to just kind of compress it a bit, because when I'm talking, I kind of go low and high, and so this is not raw audio, if anyone's wondering. This is very kind of compressed audio, but I think it sounds pretty good. Any advice on buying a USB mic for a poor college student? Yeah. It depends on what you're looking for, right? I mean, that's all it is. If you want to do kind of professional voiceover stuff, it's going to be hard with a USB to kind of achieve that kind of a quality that you're looking for. But you can probably find something. I would probably look on YouTube. Because I'm certainly not an expert. I only know my knowledge from just Googling and looking on YouTube as well. The Marvel thing sounds like you, just like, ooh, I'm so broke right now, but time to spend even more money. Who do you think would write and draw for the inevitable Detective Comics 1000? Ooh, that's a good question. Man, who would write and draw for it? I don't know. I actually have no idea. I think, I mean, with I don't know who's doing it. I mean, I know Tom King is doing really good with Batman. I don't know if he still is. I'm not current on comic books. Obviously Snyder, right? I don't know. Could be anybody. Could be a lot of people. They could do a mix of people. That'd be a lot of fun. Shotgun mic for short films. Yeah, man. The used Rock Band mics are rather decent USB mics for the price. Hey, man. Yeah, I was thinking Snyder Capullo, honestly. That seems like a safe bet, if I'm being honest. How much of the authorial intent is unintended, dictated by the circumstances of life at the time, subconscious influences, etc.? That's a really great question. We might actually answer that. I haven't seen the comments currently. I'm gonna actually take a screenshot of your comment there. See if we can get to it. Because that might be a fun one to answer. All right. How many people do we have watching now? 38. That's awesome. All right. Well, I want to get into the video. We can chat a ton more in between the comments and also after I do everything, but I do need to make sure that I get these comment responses done. So keep on chatting. I'm not ignoring you. I'll just do one comment at a time, see what you guys think as well. And feel free to chip in to whatever responses you have, if you have any responses to these. And then we'll just see what happens, man. It'll be a fun time. 'Twill be a fun time. All right, let me record some stuff. Recording. So if you're new to the channel or you've just even been here a while, let me see if I want to phrase that. So if you're new to the channel, or even if you've been here a while, these comment responses might be a little bit new to you. We used to do them all the time. We haven't done them in a couple months. I want to bring them back. So basically the way that this works is I have some friends who help work for me. Wait, who's Nisha and Dave, right? All right. You're going to see me repeat a lot. See, if you didn't watch me do this the first time, you're going to see me repeat a bunch of stuff. So if you're new to the channel, or even if you've been here for a while, these comment responses might be a little bit new to you because we haven't done one in a couple months. But the way that I like to do it is encourage you guys to leave some comments in the comments section where the comments go. And then afterwards, I like to continue the discussion, see what you guys had to say, respond to some of your comments. It's a good time. And the way that this works is I have friends, Dave and Lanisha, who go into the comments, take some screenshots, and send them to me. I've not seen these comments in advance, so it's going to be me reacting to them live right here. And also, if you want a longer form version of this, we actually record this Tales from the Comments live on our Sidekick channel, so you can see the whole ordeal of everything that goes on here, all the cut stuff, all of my failings and flubs, all that good stuff. Link will be in the description if you want to go check that out. And I do have to include something that Jay Darkos did last time, or told me to do last time. And because it's live, I could say or do anything. And then we'll cut to a thing that happened last time. Maybe I'll do that one more. I'll set it up one more time. And because it's live, I could say anything. One more time, maybe one more kind of delivery there. And because it's live, I could say anything. I don't like that delivery at all. You're getting a glimpse on how I record videos. No, I'm not signing off. We're just starting. Okay. And because it's live, I could say anything, theoretically. How do I want to set that up? Basically, I'm trying to cut to a part of the video from last time where I say something really weird about, I can't even remember what, like Sonic the Hedgehog or something like that. And because it's live, I could say anything. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, here, I'll do it again. I know what I want to say here. And because it's live, I could say some really weird stuff. And then we'll do a little insert there. Yeah. All right, cool. We'll stop recording. That's enough of that intro. Oh, actually, no, we do need to go back. So the videos I want to be responding to, nope. So the videos I'll be responding to today are the last two videos we did about the real origin of J. Jonah Jameson and what are the Avengers avenging? Sorry. So the videos I'm going to be responding to today are the real origin of J. Jonah Jameson and the video about what are the Avengers avenging. And if you haven't seen any of those, you can click in the description down below. I'm going to do that last bit one more time. And if you haven't seen... all right, let me just take it from the top. Take it from the top. I even hit my thing. All right, this is a mess. This is a nightmare. So the videos I'm going to be responding to today are the real origin of J. Jonah Jameson and what exactly are the Avengers avenging. If you haven't seen either of those videos, there will be links in the description down below as well as at the end of this video. But let's just jump right into it. Oh, and I should mention that I have not seen... Oh, wait, I did talk about this before. Never mind. I already talked about how I haven't seen them, right? Yeah. All right, let's just dive into it then. How we doing? The JJJ episode's one of your favorites? Awesome. You sound exactly like how I sound. Yeah, man, I repeat myself a whole bunch. The last take was the best. Awesome. Leave the nevermind in the video. Cool. The real origin was good. Thanks, everybody. Got 42 people watching. This is awesome. All right, so I got my phone here. Oh, this is a really great question. All right. So the first question we have comes from, the first comment we have comes from Sprinkles Sunday, who asks, would you ever make a video about the ethics of Peter Parker taking pictures of himself as Spider-Man for profit? I remember reading about how something like that was journalistically underhanded. What would your take be on that? So that's a really interesting idea. I never really thought about it before, but yeah, I would absolutely love to tackle a video about that. That sounds right up my alley. First of all, I'd want to ask if that's even legal. I feel like it's probably legal. It's just a little bit misleading and yeah, like you said, journalistically underhanded. But yeah, ethically, that's a great question. I don't know what my take would be. I don't know what my take would be off the top of my head. I would love to just kind of ask, I don't know, maybe I don't want to just say I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I want to actually kind of have a response there. What do you guys think in the comments, in the chat here to this? Peter Parker, the ethics of Peter Parker taking pictures of himself for profit. So there's a part of me that thinks... So if we look back... I don't know. So if we look back at the early ages of Spider-Man, the early days of Spider-Man, he used to make money just being Spider-Man on TV, and then Jonah came along to ruin his entertainment career. And then that's kind of when Spider-Man started taking pictures of himself to sell to Jonah. So it's almost kind of like a little bit of comeuppance, like the idea that Jonah ruined Spider-Man's entertainment career led him to kind of deceive Jonah in that regard. I don't know. Yeah, he does a good job being a superhero, but never gets paid. Do heroes have to be paid? Sorry, I'm just looking through your guys' responses. Yeah. We've got a lot of people here on the live chat saying that it's an easy way to make money as a superhero when you don't get paid. But, like, do superheroes need to get paid? Does that kind of undercut the whole value of being selfless, of you know, just taking on the responsibility of being a superhero without expecting anything in return? I don't really know, but I do feel like without Peter having any kind of job, it would be really hard for him to dedicate any time to be Spider-Man. Could he get another job? Probably. One that doesn't involve exploiting the fact that he's Spider-Man? Yeah, sure. I don't know what he would... I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I don't know how... I don't really know. This is a really, really, really good question. I just want to leave it up to the comments, I guess, below. I'm just kind of thinking out loud, and I don't really have an answer quite yet. But I definitely want to tackle this in a video. Let me know if you want me to talk about this in a video. I'm going to have a fun time editing that, because my mind was all over the place. So you say it's the same as selling a self-portrait. The difference between that is... and what Spider-Man's doing is when you sell a self-portrait, people know that it's you. Whereas Spider-Man is saying, you know, it's not me, but here's a picture of that thing you want, and I'll just sell it to you for money because I'm the only person who can make it. So it is kind of like, yeah, it is kind of exploitative, I think, to have that job. I don't know. All right, we're going to end that one. That was a great first question. Let's move on. We have a ton of questions to get to, too. This is a good first question. Will we be seeing anything music related on the main channel soon? Because the DuckTales episode was fantastic. Yes, we will. We actually, the reason I went to LA, as I was talking about earlier, was because we were recording two other music videos, not music videos, but you know what I mean, videos about music, with Ron Wasserman, who wrote both the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme song and the X-Men animated theme song. Same guy wrote both of them. They're awesome. So we interviewed him, and it was a ton of fun. Isn't it more exploitative that superheroes don't even make enough money to pay the bills? That's not really exploitative, because like that's their choice, right? Like no one's forcing them to be a superhero. They go out and be a superhero not for the money, but you know, because they think it's the right thing to do. I mean, certainly some heroes do it for money, right? Heroes for hire, obviously, is an obvious example. But if they're feeling exploited of not getting paid for being a superhero, then they can just not be a superhero if that's the thing that matters to them. You know what I mean? Are police and fire squads not paid? They are, but there's also an expectation of payment, right? Whereas a superhero, again, I don't think in the grand scheme of superheroes, there's no expectation of payment. So, if the payment is the thing that matters to you, then I don't know if being a superhero is the greatest option for you. You know? I mean, that's when Spider-Man would... I keep hitting my desk, I'm sorry. That's when Spider-Man would try to, you know, be Spider-Man on TV for the money, specifically. Yeah. All right, let's get to the next question. We have so many more to get to. My area yeah, I thought fire departments were mostly volunteer. I mean, police get paid though, right? I would imagine. I don't know anything about anything. Yeah, if you're just naturally rich like Iron Man or part of a group that's funded, yeah. They need to be paid for something. Yeah, no, I agree. Even if they're not paid for their heroics, they need to be paid for something. But the point is, does Peter have to take pictures of himself and sell it for money? No, he could just get another job somewhere else. So the fact that he chooses to take selfies, right? Essentially, he's selling selfies to the newspaper. That seems, at very least, it seems troubling. It seems worthy of a conversation. I don't think we should just dismiss it outright as like, no, that's fine. Because again, it is misleading. And I think that because they don't know he's being Spider. If it was Spider-Man showing up at the Daily Bugle saying, "Here's pictures of me, print whatever you want," that's one thing. But the fact that it's Peter Parker saying, "I can get pictures of Spider-Man," I mean, just because I'm not Spider-Man, but like I can do it, seems misleading at most. I mean, at least. Yeah, taking pictures frees him up. But again, that's not the only possible freelance job in the world. He could do anything else that doesn't involve him taking pictures of himself. He could be, just a photographer, a freelance photographer, not of Spider-Man, but just of weddings or something like that, right? He doesn't have to take pictures of Spider-Man. Taking pictures of Spider-Man isn't the only freelance job that exists in the world. So I don't think it's as simple as, no, it's fine. I think there is a discussion to be had there for sure. Legally he'd have, right, but again, he doesn't have to take pictures of Spider-Man. He doesn't have to. He could take pictures of anything else. Or even have another freelance job, be a graphic designer, be a whatever, He doesn't have to take pictures of Spider-Man. We're working under the assumption that he has to take pictures of Spider-Man, but he doesn't have to. If he's taking pictures at weddings, he's not being a hero at that point. I mean, the whole point is that the whole point of a freelance job is that he can just be a hero whenever he wants and then take pictures on the side whenever he needs money. So I think it's fine. It's definitely easier to take pictures of himself to make it. Yeah, it's easier. That doesn't make it right. Can we at least all agree that it feels misleading, right? I feel like if I'm, I don't know, it feels weird to me to have Peter Parker selling pictures of himself and not disclose that information. I'm not saying he should disclose the information. I'm just saying it feels weird that he is. You know what I mean? All right. Isn't it kind of the same thing as Soup's reporting on himself as Clark? It absolutely is. That journalistic integrity is gone. If Clark is reporting on something that Superman is doing, of course he's going to have a bias to try and spin it in the most pleasing light possible. So absolutely. It is misleading, but that's the point of secret identity but you can still have a job and not mislead people with that job, Yeah, if you're reporting on yourself. Yeah, if Superman did it, it would feel wrong, but a 15-year-old kid might do it. Yeah, he might do it. That doesn't make it right, though. All right. I think this proves that this video that this idea is worthy of a video in and of itself. I think the fact that we're having a big long conversation about it is proof that we should continue having a big conversation about it in a future video. But for now, and we can continue talking about it, but for now, let us move on to the next comment. So meanwhile, over here on the live stream, people are having a big, long chat about Peter selling photos of himself. So great first comment. I think I'm definitely going to make it into a video. But moving on to the next comment, Guy Incognito says, just as far as the official answer goes, I wonder if Stan didn't necessarily base Jameson on himself, but rather Steve Ditko sought some retribution and created a character to mock Stan, or at least make himself feel better about the Marvel Comics method. So that's an interesting idea. So the idea here is that Steve Ditko. Okay, yeah. So the idea here is that Stan didn't create. So the idea here, I guess, if I'm interpreting it correctly, is that Stan didn't really base it on himself, but rather someone like Steve Ditko did, who helped create the character as kind of some retaliation against Stan taking credit for a lot of people's work that was, of the artists. I guess then the idea of Stan kind of embracing that and being like, yes, it is me, but it was my idea that it was me, is kind of like, come on, man. Even you want to take that idea? I mean, we're speculating here. I have no idea if this is actually what really happened. I don't know if we ever will know what really was the inspiration for J. Jonah Jameson, but I think that this idea is very funny. That's all I have to say about this comment, really. It's just kind of, it's just funny that someone theoretically like Steve Ditko could create the character out of frustration that Stan Lee kept taking credit. So he created a character that was very tyrannical, a tyrannical editor of a publication. And then in response, Stan Lee was like, yes, it was me. And I came up with that idea. Oh, I enjoy that. That's funny. And I can absolutely see that happening. Oh, man. 43 people watching. Thanks, everybody. We're going to move on to the next comment. We might not use all of these comments in the official video, which is why we do them all live here. And then we can edit it down in the big video. But, I mean, we're only on comment 3, and I think we have like 20 comments, so we got to keep chugging along. We're like 40 minutes in. Yeah, Stan's ego problem is very amusing, for sure. Whoop. How much does this affect my lighting if I move this from here to here? Darkens it a little bit. All right, I won't do that. Hey, Darkos. I want to let you know, in case you missed it earlier, I did set up the comment thing. So it will be in the video. I'm keeping my word. Everyone was here, and they watched me kind of set it up about 12 times. So it will happen. I promise. Stan does seem to love criticism of himself without pointing fingers at the originator. Oh, it was Donkey Kong Dabs. That's what it was. You're right. Thank you for reminding me what it was. I thought it was some sort of Sonic thing, but I'm just projecting from the last live stream that we did, I guess. Everyone say hi to Sparta. He's a little sleepy. I got my amazing hat on Amazon. Even bought, you can't see it over there because it's too dark, but over on the rack. Oh, come on, hand. There it is, right around this area. I bought the same version, but navy. I don't like it as much, but I think it's just because it's too kind of saturated. Maybe if I wear it out a little bit, fade it a tad. Is there another cat sitting in the background? Where is Pumpkin at? I don't know. Yeah, I saw that you tweeted the timestamp to me. Thank you for reminding me. All right, let's move on to comment number 3. Here we go. The next comment comes from Emmeth Matthew. who says, I think it can be both. They can't directly port a sociologist into comics as a newspaper editor, so the editor part comes from Stan. But I absolutely agree the parallels in the narrative line up too well for the reader to not make that comparison. I hadn't thought of it before, specifically, but upon seeing the title and having seen your other videos on the CCA, I knew exactly where this was going, and it totally clicked. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I tweeted out not too long ago about how I was worried that I was talking about the CCA too much and that people might be annoyed with it. But most of you guys said that as long as it's relevant, you don't really mind. And in fact, most of you didn't even notice that I talked about the CCA a lot these past few months. And we're going to be talking about them even more. As I hinted at in that video, I said I wanted to do a full video about the trial of the Senate subcommittee, hearing on juvenile delinquency, because that's just super fun. If you've ever read 10 Cent Plague, that is a great book that goes into this era of the comic book industry in extreme detail with a ton of great anecdotes and just very delightful stories, both delightfully fun and sad, and just funny in general. So, I mean, there's so much information about this era, about the CCA, about Wortham, about all of it. Comic book censorship, comic book control, if you will, that it's hard not to talk about it. It's hard for me not to want to talk about it. So I'm glad that even though you saw where the video was going, that you still wanted to watch it and that you still thought it was interesting. I appreciate that. All right, I think that's all I really have to say about that. We'll stop recording. Can you put the link for the hat on your Twitter? You know what? Just for you. Let's do that real quick. Let me see if I can find it. If anyone wants to do some Scott cosplay, oops, then I will absolutely send a link. I'll put it in the chat. Why don't I just put it in the chat? It's easier than Twitter, I think. Unless you need a reference to it. It is this one. My biggest problem with this hat is that it's very specifically, it's very specifically a winter hat. So as the weather is warming up, it's making my head very, very sweaty. But here is, ooh, actually, hold on. I'm not going to post it just yet because I'm going to give you guys an affiliate link, which means if anybody buys this hat, then hopefully I will make a little bit of money. Take that, suckers. Unless I can't do this. Oh, it's not working. Never mind. You know what? My plan failed. All right, I'll just post it in here. I think that's it. There it is. There's the link in the chat. Looking at the comments again. You always find the CCA fascinating. That's good. As long as it's related to the video, I don't care if you talk about it. All right. Am I going to play Spider-Man PS4? I am. It's going to be a fun time. I love when you talk about the CCA. I made a report on the CCA in your videos, are majority where the info came from. That's awesome. There's also a ton of great books. Like I said, 10 Cent Plague is awesome. There's a documentary called Diagram for Delinquents that's also really good. Talks about Wortham and the CCA. I think I'm known, or at least I think I'm known for being a little soft on Wortham, and that's true. I don't think he was all that bad. I think people usually highlight and cherry pick just the bad things that he says. And I mentioned that in my J. Jonah Jameson video where I said, like, to be fair, I don't want to just cherry pick all the bad things he said because that's what he did with comic books. And I don't think I would be it would be kind of hypocritical for me to criticize him for that while also doing the same thing, which is why I'm going to make a video about the full trial so you can get full context. Because he did say things like, I think Hitler was a beginner compared to the comic book industry. But he also said on multiple occasions that he didn't like censorship. In fact, he abhorred censorship. He hated it. He also talked about how he didn't think comic books were the cause of juvenile delinquency. He didn't even think comic books were the biggest cause of juvenile delinquency. He thought they were a factor. in a long list of factors. And he just got dragged into it because it was kind of like the big cultural thing at the time. So yeah, I don't have a summer hat yet. I'm going to do it. But is it ethical, Scott? I don't know. Probably not. The CCA is interesting, but it annoys you to no end, especially because it's still relevant today. Yeah, I mean, something I kind of jokingly say, but it is sort of true, is that it's really hard to talk about comic book history without hitting upon the CCA or Wortham in some capacity. No. Which is why I kind of made that tweet initially. I was like, are you guys annoyed that I talk about it a lot? Because, like, I don't want to be talking about it a lot, but, like, it's relevant to the discussion. Yeah. I have a similar problem with your flat cat. I need a cotton one instead of wool. Yeah, this is wool. It's very hot. I'm thinking about buying the same one. The problem is, like, it's got, like, liners and stuff in here to, like, trap the heat in. So I was thinking I could buy the same one and then just kind of, like, cut some pieces out of it to make it breathe a little bit better, and maybe that would do it. But I would do a spare so that I would still have this one, wouldn't mess with this one, and then if the spare started, like, falling apart, then I wouldn't do it. Or I would at least have this one. I don't know. I've tried to buy other hats in the past. I have one somewhere on the floor back there because I don't really care for it. Nothing quite works for me this way, especially because I have a small head. I don't know if it shows on camera, but I have a really tiny, like, baby head. So, like, most hats just don't fit me because even the smallest size is too big. So this one at least is, like, adjustable to the point where I can, like, pull it as tight as I want. And that's why it's, like, the only hat that actually fits on me. My ensemble overall is pretty dang fly. Thank you. I'm kind of, like, in my chillaxed kind of clothing right now. Normally I dress up a little bit more, but, like, I kind of realized that I had all the trappings to make an Ed, Edd and Eddy sort of a thing. So I just kind of went for it. The camera adds more head. Someone take that out of context. Pinhead. It kind of showed on your first Super Carly Brothers video. Yeah, like when you see me compared to other people, you can see just how tiny of a head I have compared to, like, people with normal sized heads. Baby Christian Bale. Yeah, that's right. Oh man. Will the summer hat be too sexual? That's the question. That's the main question. Oof. Like, I'm warm I'm warm currently, just as I'm sitting here. I got a fan going on at, like, high speed above me. It's not doing anything. You'd much rather have a big hat than a hat that looks like I took it off of a baby? I don't know, because I don't know, it just feels like... Because it's worse when I'm wearing, like, suits, with, like, that have kind of, like, this is fine because, like, the shoulders are they kind of drape over, but, like, when I'm wearing a jacket, like a blazer, then, like, the shoulder pad things kind of emphasize how small my head is. So I don't know. It's it's like an area. I'm not sensitive about it. I think it's funny, but, like, I don't know, it's just something I'm conscious of, I guess. The box behind me is from Lego. If you watched our previous live stream, they sent over a bunch of Infinity War Legos, including this nice Hulkbuster that I built on stream for, like, over 3 hours. It didn't take me 3 hours just to do this. It took me 3 hours to do this and Falcon and Proxima Midnight and, like, a whole thing. But, like, still no excuse. That's 3 hours. I was also distracted. I'm making excuses. Everyone start calling him Smallhead Scott. I can't wait for that Twitter account to start up. It'll just be like it'll be just a regular picture of me, but someone will take, like, the liquefy tool in Photoshop and just, like, make my head even smaller. Like, from you remember Beetlejuice when, like, wasn't there a bit where, like, their heads were small or something? I can't remember. It's been a while. Or his head. It's been so long. But for some reason, that imagery reminds me of Beetlejuice for some capacity. For some capacity? That's not a phrase. Don't give us ideas. Do I think that J. Jonah Jameson will be brought into the MCU anytime soon? My idea that what they could do if J.K. Simmons was up for it was they could use the Infinity War event as kind of like a merging of realities, sort of a bit. Or heck, even in like another Spider-Man sequel, if they do a Spider-Verse event, they could cross over things like Tobey Maguire's version and Andrew Garfield's version with the current Tom Holland version, and then through there we could have J.K. Simmons make an appearance, which would be really cool. They probably won't do that, but that would be a lot of fun. I think most people who've like heard of the Spider-Verse idea, or even a lot of people who came up with the Spider-Verse idea on their own, independently of everybody else, would like to see that. So, yeah. Thank you, Darkos. I appreciate that. He's Commissioner Gordon now. Actors can play different roles. It's fine. They had Michael Keaton as Vulture and Batman. So, who would I want for J. Jonah Jameson if J.K. Simmons wasn't an option? Who's like a really funny comedian? I would want a comedian in that role. I would even forego having to look like him, because you could always just put hair and a mustache and like other sort of costuming on him to any actor to make them look like that. I would love some, probably I'm thinking of like an SNL alumnus. I'm thinking like like a what's his name? Jason Sudeikis, or even like a Bill Hader. They would be fun. Bill Hader could crush it. I feel like Bill Hader would crush it. He would commit to that role. It would be a lot of fun. I think that would be awesome. I'm gonna go back just to see what we're working on here. Yeah, let me know in the comments who you think would be a good JJJ if J.K. Simmons was not available. Patton Oswalt. Now that would be a great casting. Peter Capaldi would be funny. Yeah, I don't know if I've heard his American accent, but he would be kind of he at least kind of would look the part for sure. Yeah, and he's kind of funny. Hater for the hater. That's right. Andrew Garfield with Tobey Maguire's hair. All right, I'm gonna move on. Let's do the next one. Because we've been going for about an hour and we have so many comments. Like, we got to fly through these. So I'm going to do like the next bunch kind of in a row. Mark Hamill. That's a fun choice. I don't know if I would say like he could do it like amazingly, but he would just be fun. He would be like, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about Mark Hamill in the MCU in some capacity. I think he would be a great Spider-Man villain. I don't know who though. I think he would be fun as like, there's a part of me that wants Mysterio to be like young, but like if Mark Hamill was an option, I feel like he'd be a good Mysterio. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, let me turn off all my. I just got 1,000 notifications all of a sudden. Let's turn it off. Oh, because it's past midnight. Oh, what's his name? You're right. Nick Offerman. Nick Offerman would be hilarious. Are you kidding me? Oh, he would kill it as Jade. That's my new answer. Oh yeah, Mark Hamill as Green Goblin would be kind of fun. I don't want to see a Goblin for a while, but he would be good. But Nick Offerman as J. Jonah Jameson, incredible. But like I would want him to still get angry and not be just like monotoned, you know? Like I would actually want him to yell at, and like, yeah, he'd be great. He'd be great. All right. Oh yeah, Mark Hamill is Doc Ock. Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. We got to get back to these comments, but that's my favorite so far. Mark Hamill is Doc Ock. I love it. You're right. Okay, here we go. This next comment comes from Levi Phillips. Nope, sorry. This next comment comes from Levi Phipps. Misread that. The Jameson Wortham connection is something that is the obvious in... Wait. The Jameson Wortham connection is something that is obvious in the why didn't I think of that kind of way. But something much less relevant to the video, Despite Jackman, Evans, and even Holland's connections to their characters, J.K. Simmons is the only actor in superhero media who is truly synonymous with their character. I can't hear his voice without bursting out my best, bring me pictures of Spider-Man. Zootopia, Whiplash, and last season of Gravity Falls, even Farmers Insurance commercials are affected. Absolutely. I'm not going to be treading new ground when I say that there is no other actor in a comic book movie that just crushes it as much as J.K. Simmons does for J. Jonah Jameson. Just perfect casting. Over here on the live stream, we're actually talking about who we would cast in place of him in case he's not available and they want to bring in Jameson in future movies. And we've had some really fun suggestions from like Nick Offerman, Bill Hader were some that I thought were nice. Peter Capaldi. There's some other good stuff. I would love to know who you would cast as Jameson in the comments in the unfortunate scenario that J.K. Simmons is not available. But I think we all know that it doesn't matter if it doesn't make continuity. What's the word I'm looking for? I think we all know that it doesn't matter if it makes sense continuity wise. I'm gonna try this whole section again. But I think we all know that it doesn't matter if it makes sense continuity wise or not. J.K. Simmons is the perfect actor. He's open to reprising the role. Well, that's good. Stop recording. And we will... He seemed like he had a lot of fun doing it. I think the first two specifically. Spider-Man 3, no one really seemed to be having that much fun. They didn't really do a ton. Like, Jameson's whole thing in Spider-Man 3 was that he couldn't yell as much. Like, they just put that limitation on him because they thought the struggle of him not wanting to yell would be funny, and it was for a bit, but like, I don't know. It's like you're taking a core element of that character away. Mark Hamill as Mark Hamill. Cool. Bryan Cranston, he could do it. Or Gary Oldman, since he was Commissioner Gordon. Sparta, you want to stop sneezing there, buddy? Sparta sneezes all the time. It's his gimmick. It's his thing that he does. Let's move on. Benjamin Kellogg says, I don't think Stam would have been interested in self-parody in 1962. In my view, he more likely would have gone for casual bystanders or impartial observers. Willie Lumpkin, The Watcher, The Wortham angle is an interesting take on Jameson's outlook on life, made even more so if one considers how in later years we learn that JJJ sort of wants to be Spidey, or at least wants to experience a greater degree of freedom and public admiration. Also, I seem to recall reading how when he was a child, one of Jonah's parents was killed by a guy in a mask, which might have instilled in him a let me take that whole sentence again. Also, I seem to recall reading how when he was a child, one of Jonah's parents was killed by a guy in a mask, which might have instilled in him I keep wanting to say psychological. We'll just take it from the break. Which might have instilled in him a pathological fear of costumed figures, regardless of what they... Which might have instilled in him a pathological fear of costumed figures, regardless of whether... Okay, sorry. The sentence is throwing me off. which might have instilled in him a pathological fear. Come on! It's long comments like this get to me. Which might have instilled in him a pathological fear of costumed figures, regardless of whether they be a hero or villain. Did Wortham experience any similar incidents at a tender young age, which put the comics hating Okay. Did Wortham experience any similar incidents at a tender young age, which put the comics hating shtick up his butt? What do I want to? So I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong here, people in the chat. So I believe the idea of Jameson's parents being killed by someone in a mask was actually from a cartoon, not a comic book. I think I'm maybe, I don't know. Right? Is that what he said? So I might be misremembering, but I do think the idea of one of Jameson's parents being killed by someone in a mask was from a cartoon, not the comic books. Although the comic books do explore a little bit about his past. We actually did a whole video, collab video over on the Super Carlin Brothers channel that explores why Jameson might hate Spider-Man. Came up with some really cool theories and ideas. Definitely go check that out if you haven't already. There's Ben and Brandon. Brandon's been here for a while. You're not special. I'm kidding. You're great. Yeah. His son, you know, the astronaut. I can't really speak for Wortham's childhood, though. I don't remember too much about it. I mean, you could look at the world as a whole at the time. Wortham is obviously famous for making that comment about comparing comic books to Hitler. So, like, World War II was kind of fresh in his mind. But I don't really know. I don't know if I don't know. I don't really have too much to say about this. It's interesting to think about, but I don't want to speculate too much because I don't want to make up things in his past if I don't really know it. You know what I mean? Maybe his parents were killed by a comic book. Who knows? Oh, you said, yeah. Okay, I see it. Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question. I don't know how much we can speculate there. I mean, I don't want to speculate there. Where are we at? 5. Wait. I'm confused. Hold on. What did I click on? I'm confused now. Oh, I did question. Okay. I just did comments out of order and I was really confused. Anyway. How interesting is this to watch, gang? All right, let's move on. More comments. Tristan Hilker says, are you sure that Stanley wasn't looking into the future and basing J. Jonah Jameson on the owner of NerdSync, Scott? Oh no, I've been had. I think it's likely that as we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy and NerdSync's video, he can travel through space and time, assuming that everything I see on YouTube and cinemas are automatically factual. Sorry, I said that wrong. I think it's likely, as we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy and NerdSync's video, he can travel through space and time, assuming that everything I see on YouTube and cinemas are actually factual. Nope, automatically factual. One more time. I think it's likely, as we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy and NerdSync's video, he can travel through space and time, assuming that everything I see on YouTube and cinemas are automatically factual. Wait, does this mean that NerdSync Kitchen will be returning? Sweet reference, but the show is called Kitchen Sink. Get it right. And no, it will not be returning. Got him. All right, we have a couple more to do for Jameson, then we're going to move on to Avengers. You can do it, Scott. Ewan McGregor would be a good Uncle Ben. It would be a waste. Yeah. I don't know. He's a good actor. He needs to be used in more stuff. You know, Obi-Wan movie. Sparta sneezed again. Of course is he still laying there? Sparty, that's his favorite spot. All right, go to school, Ben. Pay attention. Kitchen Sink will forever be one perfect wheat cakes episode. That's it. That's the one and only. Oh man. Here we go. Next question. Danny Holt says, is it weird that I don't think less of Stan for lying? I don't know why, but tall tales fit his bombast. Bombast? I know bombastic, but I've never heard just the word in and of itself. Bombast? I don't know. I've never pronounced that word out loud before. Anyone want to help me out with some phonetics in the live chat? That's one of those, not to go on like a tangent, but like, I remember hearing a story about how people who only read and not like learn how to pronounce, like when you read a lot of words that maybe you don't know how to pronounce them, and there was like somebody who like pronounced the word chaos as like chouse, because like when you just read it, that's how it's spelled. Wasn't me though. I definitely, when I was a kid, pronounced Chihuahua as Chihuahua, because like Chihuahua, it's really dumb spelling. Bombast? All right, is it like bombast? I don't know. All right, anyway. Danny Holt says, is it weird that I don't... Danny Holt says, is it weird that I don't think less of Stan for lying? I don't know why, but tall tales fit his bombast. Am I saying that right? Bombast? I know you guys said tall tales fit his bombast. I'll say it both ways. Is it weird that I don't think less of Stan for lying? I don't know why, but tall tales fit his bombast. Is that right? Is that right? Did I say it right? Bombast. I hear you. And it just seems like he's doing it to entertain. I hate lying, but... And it just seems like he's doing it to entertain. I hate lying, but this seems harmless. And frankly, I'd also believe it if... I hate lying, but this seems harmless. And frankly, I'd also believe it if he didn't know the truth. It's close enough. We all know what you mean. Thank you, guys. I might not even use this comment because I don't really have too much to add here. Yeah, I remember some people saying that I missed the opportunity to link. Ooh, I need water or something. My mouth's getting dry. But anyway, yeah. I remember someone saying in the comments that I missed the opportunity to plug all of my videos where Stan was caught lying about something. I don't actually remember having too many of those videos. I've had a couple, but there's certainly been a lot of videos that I wanted to make about Stan lying. Sometimes it's just like people taking Stan's word for gospel, whatever. The point is, like I said in the video, he's a storyteller. That's what he does. It might be harmless in this instance. I think you're absolutely right. But I try not to take Stan's word as gospel for these very specific reasons. Can someone explain Kitchen Sink? So Kitchen Sink was a show we made about 4 or 5 years ago, and it only lasted 1 episode. It was a cooking show about nerdy food items. 2 episodes were made. Only 1 episode was uploaded. The first one was about Aunt May's wheat cakes, which you can find the recipe to in like Untold Tales of Spider-Man, something or other. And then my friend Nick, right? I think his name is Nick. We had 2 Nicks working at NerdSync at the same time. He made the series, and it was really cool. It wasn't just cooking, it also explored a little bit of the science behind cooking, very like Good Eats-ish. It was really cool. But it only lasted 2 episodes. 1 was uploaded. The other one that wasn't uploaded it wasn't anything specific. It was about gamer cupcakes made with like Mountain Dew frosting and Dorito crumbles or something like that. But yeah, I can't remember what happened. I think it was just a combination of like Nick had too much schoolwork on his plate, so he couldn't do that. And then there was also the problem of like production value. He was recording everything on his phone, so like the audio was very echoey, and just the video was kind of like bad lighting and everything like that. So yeah, it was a very niche series. I would still I think other people do it still. Like other people do that kind of thing, and it's awesome. But yeah, there wasn't a bunch. I think another problem we had was that there's just not a bunch of stuff that we wanted to do. Anyway, let's continue on. Nope, wrong one. Comment number 8. Oh, this is a long one. I might read this one in advance, and then instead of reading the full comment out, because I'm going to mess up a bunch, I'll probably just kind of summarize the comment, I know Nerdy Nummies is one, but I think there are people that do specifically comic book ones. Maybe Joel? Does Joel do stuff like that? I don't know. But yeah. Thanos tapas. How will I make them without your help? That would actually... Oh, man, I want tapas now. Yeah, I watch a lot of cooking shows on YouTube, actually. I watch 18th Century Cooking from James Townsend and Son. I have more series with pun names off of Sync. I think even when Kitchen Sink was happening, I decided that was going to be the last one, because we had another series called... Sorry, I keep shaking the desk. We had another series that lasted like 2 or 3 episodes called Sink Tank. Kind of like Think Tank. And the idea was that we would interview, it would be like all 5 of the people who were working at NerdSync at the time. Myself, Bryce, Chris, Nick, and someone else. Josh, maybe, I can't remember. All 5 of us would like kind of be in front of a camera. Like, it was almost like, I don't know. It was just, we would have one topic to talk about, like Thor, The Dark World, I think was one that came out at the time. Or, Batman, Dark Knight Rises was another one. I can't remember what it was. Like, we would just kind of sit and we would cut it between like so instead of us sitting down and talking to each other, we would just kind of talk about our own ideas separately, and then we'd edit it together. Like just a really generic sort of, I don't know, show that you would see on like a VH1 or something like that. I liked that style a lot. But anyway, Thor, the second Thor. Sink or Swim. In Sync, the karaoke spinoff. Oh, too many ones. Let me read this comment. I'll read it out loud, but I'll summarize it as well when we're actually recording. I keep shaking the desk. I apologize. I remember a few years back, my parents got me the Marvel Comics, The Complete Visual Guide. And in that book, the description of Jameson's first appearance is accompanied by the panel of him declaring Spider-Man as a bad influence on our youngsters, which made me suspect the character may have been at least partially inspired by Wortham, especially since it wouldn't have been the first time Stan had done that. No, really, back in the 50s when Wortham's crusade was still going strong, Stan wrote a story for one of Marvel's horror anthologies. I'd have to check the book again. Oh, they're going to talk about Menace? Featuring Wortham as a mental patient who barges into Marvel's office. Yes, that's right. This isn't Menace, I don't think. But yes, I read about this. Featuring Frederick Wortham as a mental patient who barges into Marvel's offices to accuse them of all the S-word, bad word, he lambasted the comic company for IRL, only for the orderlies of his asylum to haul him back before he can finish his rant. Yes. Let me see if I can actually find that book so I can tell everyone specifically what it is. But yes, I read about this in my research. Spider-Man Menace. Patient, maybe? No. I'm trying to do like a control F in the book that I got this research from. By the way, if you didn't know, I link all of my sources to videos in the description when it's applicable. So like comment responses probably won't have sources, but main videos do have sources in the description. So if you're ever wondered about further research or where I get some ideas from, always check the description for books, articles, fun stuff like that. I am there. Mental. I don't know. Does anyone know what comic this is? I heard about it. I don't know. Oh, here it is. Come on. Let me out here, buddy. Lee wrote a short piece some 10 years earlier. All right, I think this is it. All right. Let me hit record on here. The next comment comes from Maple Samurai. It's a pretty long comment, so I'm not going to sit here and read it all for you, but you can read it on the screen if you want. To summarize it, they talk about how there was an earlier comic before Amazing Fantasy 15, before Spider-Man, where Lee and company had made fun of Wortham as like a mental patient who barges into Marvel's offices, accusing them of basically all the same stuff that he accused them of in real life, only to be hauled off by the orderlies of the asylum to go back into his little padded cell before he could finish his rant. And I read about this in my research, and I think this is it right here. I found it from the pages of Web Spinning Heroics, critical essays on the history and meaning of Spider-Man. So I'm just going to read this verbatim for you here. So let's see. 10 years earlier, 10 years before Amazing Fantasy 15, Lee wrote a short piece in Suspense number 29 from 1953. In it, a troubled, vindictive man attacks a comics editor demanding the... What is that word? Sorry, I'm learning a bunch of new words today. Cessation? Which basically means the fact or process of ending or being brought to an end. Oh, like the word cease. Cessation. It's good SAT word, guys. All right, I might actually just start this thing over again because I think I said a lot, and I'm not a big fan of me saying and quite a bit. Yeah, Mr. Sunday Movie and I are friends. Whenever he references me, it makes my day. It makes me smile a lot. He's a great guy. He's like off doing his own thing in the world and being like way more successful than I'll ever be, but he's such a sweetheart, and I love every interaction I've had with him. He's a great man. Great goat. Yes, that's the word, cessation. I never saw that word before. Oh. This is what happens when I never grew up reading. I always resented reading. And nowadays, I can't get enough of reading. I read everything. I have like a whole bookshelf of stuff that's fascinating to me that I want to read. So I'm like playing catch up with words that I've never seen before. So I feel like an idiot a lot. But, all that means is I got a lot of learning ahead of me, and that's really exciting. So, anyway, I'm going to start this over again. In fact, I'm just going to stop recording and delete that recording so I don't have to go back to it and then try again. Yes, you are watching me record the video. For anyone who's new, who's joining us now, this is what's happening. I don't like saying, That's me. Yeah, all right. Let's read through it again. The next comment comes from Maple Samurai. It's a pretty long comment, so I don't want to read it verbatim, but I will leave it here on the screen for you guys to read. They basically talk about how there was a comic book way before Amazing Fantasy 15 that Stan Lee did, kind of depicting another Wortham-esque character who would barge into a comic book creator office and stop them from publishing stuff. Very much like spouting the same kind of stuff that Wortham would say in real life, but in the comic book, and it turns out that that guy is a mental patient. So kind of like throwing jabs at Wortham. And this is something that I did find in my research when I was going through the book where I got a lot of this information from. It's called Web Spinning Heroics, Critical Essays on the History and Meaning of Spider-Man. I referenced it in the JJJ video. I left it as a source in the description, but just wanted to talk about this specific concept because I'm glad you brought it up. It's really, really interesting. So apparently 10 years before Amazing Fantasy 15, in 1953, there was a story in Suspense number 29. So in it, a troubled, vindictive man attacks a comics editor, demanding the cessation of all comics publications. Quote, "But I don't like your stories. You can't make me like them." He growls. The man gets taken away, and the reasonable editor goes home to tell his young daughter about the time someone stormed the offices to try and stop publishing fairy tales. So it's very much a clear jab at Wortham in there, a little less subtle than J. Jonah Jameson. So I think what this establishes is that there's absolutely precedent for Lee wanting to poke fun at his real life nemesis, if you will. Really great comment. Thanks for bringing that up. I'm glad I got to talk about it. All right, cool. I know. As soon as I brought up the fact that I hate saying now everyone's like, Scott says a lot. I'm trying to get better at it. It's not my favorite. I just did an there. You know why? It's because I don't like silence. And especially when I'm doing a live stream all by myself, because then I feel like I have to fill time so you guys don't leave. What's this one? Sorry, I did it again. All right, we only have 2 more Jameson comments, and then we can move on to Avengers. I know we're like an hour and a half in. So, I did frickin'. It's gonna drive me crazy now. Okay. This next comment comes from Marcus Silva, who says, "Hey Scott, I just wanted to let you know that I just wrote an article, yes, a scientific article, about superhero origins and psychoanalysis." Try that again. "Hey Scott, I just wanted to let you know that I wrote an article, yes, a scientific article, about superhero origins and psychoanalysis, and your videos are listed as a source, a very important source, I might add. I presented a preliminary version of it last week in a Congress? That's gotta mean something different. I presented a preliminary version of it last week in a Congress here in Brazil, and I hope to get it published later this year. Keep up the good work." Hey, that's awesome. Thank you so much for telling me that. That's super cool. I would love to see what you came up with. Hit me up. Email me. nerdsyncproductions@gmail.com. Throwing that out to everybody on the universe who wants to flood my email address now. But yeah, thank you so much. Hopefully you saw all the sources I linked in my descriptions as well, because, I mean, I am nothing without the people who came before me. I stand on the shoulders of giants. Science! A few seconds away from succeeding, and then they ask, "Will that be all?" And the is released. Yeah, I stand on the shoulders of giants who stand on the shoulders of other giants, as it goes. All right, last one. Oops, I forgot to hit stop recording. Why do you think Superman is so iconic than any other hero? I think it's probably just because he's the first one, right? He's the first one. He's very colorful. He made a huge impression on people, and also it's because, I mean, we can have a debate about this all day. I think it's just because he's the best one. I don't mean like he's my personal favorite or like he could beat anyone ever. But I think it's just because he represents, he's just a super man. And I think that concept resonates with people a lot. The fact that even though he's an alien, even though he's got fantastical abilities that we could never possibly have, the fact that he, you know, leapt onto the pages of comic books just being a man who was a little bit more special makes him resonate a bit more. And the fact that he used those abilities not to initially fight giant alien monsters, but just to right wrongs, to stop corrupt, politicians and, other people in power, to do the things, to stand up for the small guy, the little guy. You know what I mean? He's just a nice dude. That's a good point. He's just a nice dude. I mean, like I said, he is also the first superhero, and I think that made a big impression. But I think it's all the little stuff. You know, it's not the fact that he was the first, but also the fact that what he did as the first, as just being a guy who tried to do the things that we all wish we could do, especially back in those days. You know, like not just go out and punch other giant monsters, but just, you're a person with unfathomable power. I mean, back in the day, he just could jump really high and run really fast and take a lot of bullets and lift heavy things. But like, even back in those days, his mission was, I'm just going to stop crime and I'm going to stop corrupt people and I'm just going to make life easier on the little guy because I can. And I think that means a lot to people. I haven't yet read Action Comics 1000. Everyone's been recommending it to me. I just haven't had the time with Infinity War coming out. I just have to finally make all these videos in time. But yeah. So, this is the last Jameson comment. So let's read that, and then we can move on to Avengers. There's going to be significantly fewer Avengers comments because that was a shorter video, and it hasn't been out as long. I'm teared up at Superman 45. I'm gonna miss. Yeah. Ugh. I don't know why I'm like, my stomach's acting up. Probably because I haven't eaten anything today. Oh, yikes. But yeah. All right, let's do this last Jameson comment. And finally, to wrap it up, Michael Nestor says, excellent, but the real controversy that needs to be addressed, whether it is pronounced Jameson as the 60s cartoon or Jameson as it is in every permutation, cartoon, comic, movie since, including this vid. Since the first time we heard it out loud, it was the 1960s cartoon. Why has it changed? Nerds need to know. All right, I'm going to ask the live chat here. How do you pronounce Jay Jonah's last name? Is it Jameson or is it Jameson? Leave your comments now. I think it's Jameson because I've pronounced it that way in my video. And I'm not going to change because I'm American and everyone should adapt to my ways and my culture and my way of life. I'm kidding. God, I'm so kidding. No one take that out of context. Jameson, with a strong E, Jameson. Okay, that's different. Jameson, like the whiskey. Interesting. All right, cool. That's how you've always pronounced it. USA. Nope. Jamie Jade C. That's a hard. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Jameson. I've already made a video of words on repeat getting louder for 10. No! All right. Well, it looks here on the live chat that we pretty much have a consensus. Let me say that again. Well, it looks like here on the live chat we have a pretty strong consensus that people are saying it is Jameson. So don't argue with these nerds. They will fight you. And if you're saying it Jameson, stop. You can say it however you want. It doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. Oh boy. Hi, everybody. All right. So that's the end of Jameson. Actually, one second. Jamesons. I'm gonna record 2 bits of myself introducing each video because I can't remember if I did that for the Jameson one, but I know I'm gonna have to do it for the Avengers one. So I'm gonna just do both of them really quickly. So the first video we have lined up is, so the first comments come from the video about the real origin of J. Jonah Jameson. Was he inspired by Frederick Wortham secretly, or was he just a Stan Lee self-parody? Let's see what you guys had to say. I almost had that. Let's see what you guys had to say. We'll just edit that there. The super chat is not a thing here because this channel specifically does not make enough money. Or not, well, it can't make any money. It's demonetized. This channel is doesn't have enough watch time. I think we're like 92-93% of the way there, but also YouTube isn't approving channels for monetization until like June now, so it's probably going to be the better half of a year before we can even make more money on this channel. No super chats, but I will say, if you want to support NerdSync financially in any capacity, you can go to paypal.me/NerdSync. Boom! That's the link. If you want to do it, I would appreciate it. Oh, Falcone or Falcone? That's a great question, Brandon Allen. How do you pronounce that? We'll get back to that conversation after I finish up this bit, because I'm still recording. Now let's move on to the video about what exactly are the Avengers avenging. It was a really quick video. It was a part of a big, super massive crossover event with a ton of other nerdy channels that made really great stuff. So if you haven't seen those, please do. They're really great people. But let's see what you guys had to say. How many times did I say there? A lot. Nice plugging. That's right. That's me. PayPal.me/NerdSync. Ugh. Obedient servants. I just got an email that says you're obedient servants. Fun. All right. Anyway. Deep city lights. How many comments do we have here? 8. All right. So, a little bit less. A little bit fewer. But, let's keep going. Let's move on with it. Girl, could get low. I'm sorry, the chat's acting, or not the chat, but like the stream's acting up. You guys still there? Uh-oh. All right, cool. You guys are still there. The chat wasn't updating. There it is. Okay. Now you guys. I don't know what that was all about. Sorry, everyone. Sorry for the dead air. Yeah, all of a sudden the chat stopped updating, and then I looked over on the dashboard, and it was like, nope, everyone's gone. All right. But you guys are still here. Cool. All right, let's move on to Avengers. Here we go. The first comment comes from Timothy McLean. They say, Avengers makes some amount of sense considering the typical superhero plot structure. The heroes don't go out and defend the world, the villains go out and harm it, and the heroes have to react to them. Yeah, so this was actually a pretty common thought that we had in the comments. Yeah, so this is a pretty common thought that we had in the comments. People saying that like Avengers are reacting, the word avenge as a reactive act instead of a proactive one. Something I actually cut out of the video was talking about how when heroes try to be proactive, that's when we get into a lot of murky gray areas, and it creates a lot of things like Ultron in the movies, right? Trying to be this suit of armor around the world, or the Project Insight from Winter Soldier, trying to take down the bad guys before they do any harm. There was also, in the comic books, Civil War II is a really good recent example of heroes trying to proactively protect the world, and so you kind of get into some ethical territory. It's almost like, you know, having to let the villains attack first so that you have kind of justification to act and avenge, if you will. So yeah, I think it definitely makes sense. But it does unfortunately sound like they have to wait around for like people to die or get hurt before they're like, all right, now we can go act. That's good enough for that one. Girl, cops are Avengers. Civil War II was lame. The concept was, I thought the concept was good. The story, I agree, could have been executed better. But I like the concept. That's my problem with a lot of like comic books and even movies or even TV. There's just a lot of stories in general. Sometimes the concepts are good, but not the execution, unfortunately. Only 5 ums. Thank you for counting. Someone count all the ums in this entire live stream. You will not get anything from it, but it's funny to me. Darkos, thank you so much for the quote-unquote super chat through PayPal. I appreciate it. I know it's not the same. I know it's not as satisfying, but it means a lot to me because now I can order pizza. I mean, not right now. It's midnight. But oh, I forgot about the no prizes. Thank you for reminding me. I gotta do those. I kind of want to give a no prize to the very first comment, because that sparked a really interesting discussion about the ethics of Peter Parker's photography. Let me actually do that really quickly. Let me record a bit of me saying like, and I know it's really early in the video, but this sparked a really interesting discussion in the live chat. So let me try that again without the And I know it's really early in the video, but this sparked a really great conversation in the live chat. So I want to go ahead and give you this week's NerdSync No Prize right out of the gate. I know we have a lot of other comments to get to, but I feel like this one's pretty solid. And then I'll edit that in at the beginning. Domino's delivers till 2 a.m. Oh, that's tempting. Does Domino's take PayPal? That's my question. That's my big question. You guys are going to have to be my eyes and ears about the Domino's. All right, let's do the next one, and then I'll look into it. For me, it's 12:45 a.m. So still time, I guess. But we will see. All right. The next comment comes from Jalapeno of Justice. God, I love that so much. They say, Jarvis has an interesting take on this in the current No Surrender storyline, issue 687. He tells Banner that what drives the Avengers is the knowledge that they aren't always heroes, and crimes they are avenging... Oh, and the crimes they are avenging are their own. Yes, so this is actually something that drove me crazy as I was writing this. I wrote this really last minute to try and be a part of this big collab. So admittedly, I didn't do as much research as I normally do. But as after the video was already done, after the video was uploaded, I was talking to my friends Dylan and Drake from Comic Drake and Orum's Comics, not respectively, the other way around. And they were telling me about this storyline and about the Avengers and this specific element of it. And I felt like, dang it, I could have put that in there. So thank you for at least bringing it up. I wish I really could have, put that in there in the video, but oh well. Maybe I will avenge that video. I won't. I don't know what that even means. Get that Taco Bell fourth meal. The Taco Bell around me is closed. Oh, wait. Drive-thru's open. But I don't have a car, so I would get Jack in the Box, honestly. And next one. Larry Potter says, I don't think it was just a name that happened to pop into Stan Lee's head. Back in the 60s, there was a TV show that the BBC had put out that was popular, that was both popular not only in Britain, but the ABC network showed it. Let me try this whole thing again. Larry Potter says, I don't think it was just a name that happened to pop into Stan Lee's head. Back in the 60s, there was a TV show that the BBC had put out that was both popular not only in Britain, but the ABC network showed it in the US, and it also became a hit in America called The Avengers. I have a feeling it was more than a coincidence that Stan the man thought, what an awesome name for a superhero group. Yeah, I've heard about this TV show. I've seen it because, I search IMDb for Avengers-related things not frequently, but I've done it before, and this show does come up. I don't really know that much about it, but it does make sense that Stan would take a little bit of inspiration from it. I don't know. I don't want to speculate and put, ideas into there and market it as facts, but I think it is interesting, at the very least, that there was kind of this thing in pop culture at the time called the Avengers around the time when Stan was coming up with the name for the team. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it's not. Who knows? That's a good thought. Uber Eats. I don't have an Uber account either. I use Lyft. I'm not a huge, I don't want to get up on a pedestal or anything, but I'm not a huge fan of like the ethics of Uber occasionally. I don't like how they treat a lot of their drivers. I've had friends who drive for both Uber and Lyft, and they universally say that they prefer Lyft as a driver. So I kind of just go with that route most of the time. I just kind of canceled my Uber account. I have to set one up again. I don't really want to do that. Yeah, I know it's a method of late night delivery. I could always do Postmates if there was one around, but I don't know, that gets expensive. I'd rather do something that just naturally delivers and doesn't have tacked on, like pizza is just something that, delivery. Whereas if I were to just get food from anywhere else, like an Uber Eats or Postmates or something, then it would cost way more money. Because I'm delivering late at night. I don't know. We'll see if we can wrap this up. If I can't finish it in time to get a pizza, then I got plenty of food here. It's fine. But did anyone figure out if Domino's does PayPal? That would be an interesting bit to know. I will probably never make a video about My Hero Academia. Apologies. I just don't watch anime or super even care for anime. Or manga, really, in any capacity. So, sorry. Alright, I was warned about these next comments. Dave picked these out, I think. Dave, who is an Englishman himself. So this comment comes from Excelsian, who says, that was, in fact, the worst British accent I have ever heard. Thor voice is great, though. I bet we can. I don't want to respond to this because I bet we have more. About this. Yeah, we've got more about the accent. They do not. Okay, that's fine. Okay, come on, phone. The panel show adds on and says, nothing fills me with pure joy more than... No, sorry, they didn't say that. The panel show adds on here saying, nothing fills me with joy... The panel show adds on a little bit here saying, nothing fills me with joy more than making fun of British people. And I did end up responding, I feel really bad about that. Let me see if there's any more about the accent. Before I give a better response about the accent here. And Roy says, we need more British, Scott. To which I guess Dave himself responded under the NerdSync account, as the only British member of the NerdSync team, not sure how I feel about that. So, yeah, apologies for the bad English accent. I just thought it was too funny not to do. In fact, if you want more of my terrible English accent, you can go over to the YouTube channel Doppelgamers. I'll try to have that linked somewhere. I don't know. We're playing through a game currently called Detention, and even though the whole thing is set in Japan, I decided to give my character a very, very bad British accent. So have fun with that one. Oh, I'm gonna stop recording there. And then I think we have 2 more comments, and then we're done. And then we can chat for a bit. I thought it was set in Japan. Is it not set in Japan? I thought it was. Brandon Allen's seen it. He's seen my accent. It's a lot of this. It's a lot of welcome back to the BBC. Today, we're playing a game called Detention. It's a lot of that. I have not played A Way Out. I don't think so. Pretty sure I would. If I was going for a cross between Robin Leach and Reese Darby. Yeah, I realized that it started going less British and more like Kiwi or Aussie. Because I guess I do those voices better than a British accent. I don't know. I mean, not amazingly, but certainly better than a British accent, apparently. All right. Could I pay, Scott, could you pay me to watch My Hero Academia? Maybe. Depends on how much we're talking here. Let me just open up my email account to see if there's any extra PayPal money going. That's paypal.me/NerdSync, everybody. Just watch it. I don't want to do accents on the fly. There's an old blooper video where I said a word wrong and that sounded like an accent, and I was like, I'm Australian apparently. And some people were like, that's pretty good, but I know it's probably not. All right, we have 2 more comments. Let's do them really quickly, and then we can just chat for a bit. Steve Hagen, or Hagen, says, ooh, does this explain Stark's position in Civil War II? If you stop crimes before they happen, you're not really avenging anything. You can't preemptively avenge a grievance that hasn't happened yet. By the way, your shirt and tie combo is pretty awesome. Thank you for the comments on the shirt and tie combo. I'm a little bit more relaxed today. I'm doing the the Ed from Ed, Ed, and Eddie look. I'll throw up a picture maybe. I don't know. But yeah, as we were talking about earlier, I think it totally connects with. But yeah, I think as we were talking about earlier, it definitely connects with the idea of Civil War II. I know a lot of people in the chat, as soon as I brought it up, were like, Civil War II sucks. But at least it was a good idea. Not a great execution. Shh. We'll edit that out. It was based in Taiwan. All right. I gotta remember to make a note of that. Hey, Scott, in the future, Detention was not based in Japan, apparently. It was based in Taiwan. Or Google it, man. Leave a thing. All right, I just recorded a bit. Hopefully I'll see that. I thought it was Japan. But I'm also totally insanely racist, so maybe that's just me. Don't take that out of context. I was joking. It was just Minority Report. Yeah, but I don't have a problem with people taking ideas and then making it their own with new characters and stuff. I mean, you know, people... It's like the classic, the hero's journey is a story that's been told thousands of times, but with different characters, and it's still, you know, you can still do it great. So. Yeah, combine that with the USA comment, and you've got some great blackmail. Appreciate it, everyone. I'm glad you're looking out for that stuff. You guys are the best fans. I probably would like My Hero Academia. I'm not saying I hate it. I don't know anything really about it. I just don't like anime. That's all it is. Wholesale. I don't like anime, and I refuse to watch it because, again, I'm American. I gotta stop saying stuff like that. I hope it's clear that when I say stuff like that, I'm saying it as a joke because I think it's funny that someone would think that. You know? That's the joke. That I know I have to explain it and it's not funny anymore, but like in my head, I think it's funny only because I bet some people do think that, and it's ridiculous that some people would think that. Would I watch anime for a girl? Maybe. I mean, I would watch anime for just a friend if they like really, you know, if they were like a really good friend who was like, hey, let's watch this anime. And I was like, do I have to? And they're like, I thought you were my friend. And I'm like, oh, fine. That's not like I refuse to watch anime. It would just take a big circumstance. Like, I'm not going to do it. I would have to do it like, I would have to watch it with someone else, right? I'm not really going to do it on my own. I've tried. It's not like I haven't given it a shot. I have many times, from years ago to like more recently. And it just doesn't, I don't know. It's just something about it doesn't really click to me. In order to get a girlfriend, I don't really want to date anyone who has like conditions of like, you have to do this thing. You have to, you know, watch this show. What a weird condition. To be like, I'm not going to date you unless you do this. That seems weird. Maybe that's just me. You've had that friend. I agree. Yeah, I've seen Last Airbender and I like Last Airbender. That is anime adjacent. That's kind of like, that's as much anime as I can get into. And it's more, it's like a lot about the art style. Like, and Avatar is kind of in between very American cartoons and anime, to the point where like if it was pushed further towards the anime style, I probably wouldn't like it. It kind of sits comfortably in a really nice place. Relationships are about compromise. Yeah, so maybe like the compromise would be I don't have to watch things that I don't want to watch. I don't know. It would be a certain circumstance. I'm not saying never. I'm saying like Depends on the circumstance. Like I said, I would do it if a friend wanted me to do it. Like if a friend was like, I really want to watch this with you, and I was like, all right, fine, let's do it. You know, so I'm not super I'm not like saying never. It's just like by myself, probably no, I wouldn't do it. The compromise is Last Airbender. You're right. I keep shaking the camera again. Sorry. All right. I'm gonna. What happened? Whoa. Caesar. Thank you. Oh wait, sorry. Darkos. It didn't show up as Darkos. I mean, no one. I mean, who is this? Nobody I know. But whoever sent money, good job, whoever it may be. No one knows. It could be anyone. Certainly not someone. I'm purposely trying to confuse people. Anyway. Thanks, everybody, for sending monies. You're my favorites. All right. I just got confused. That's all it was. Because I'm an idiot. All right, let's move on before I confuse people enough. Here we go. Last comment is this comes from, oh no, this person comments all the time, but I've never said their name out loud, and I'm gonna get it wrong immediately and feel bad about myself. This comment comes from Irada E T to Jada R. I'm so sorry. Uh-oh, the chat's acting up again. Dang it. Let me refresh the page. I don't know what's happening on this end. Every once in a while, the chat just stops moving for me, so I don't know what's happening. And then actually certain bits of chat started, like, disappearing. I don't know what's going on there. Let's stop recording, and then I'll delete that recording. Then we'll try again. We're almost done, though, guys. Come on. Come on, internet. What's wrong with my internet? It's really bad. It's probably because I'm streaming. Man, it's taking a while. Sorry, everybody. I know this is not it's not interesting or entertaining to watch me just fumble through trying to refresh the page, but like that's what's happening right now. And it's just not working. I can't refresh, so I can't see the chat anymore. You guys could say anything, and I wouldn't know. You guys could say really nice, delightful comments, and I will never see them. Who knows what will happen in the future? All right, here we go. Now we're refreshing. Now we're doing it. Video quality is still stellar. That's good. All right. I will maybe watch My Hero Academia if I can find a place to watch it. Is that fair? Now that he can't see us, let's talk about him. Ha! There's a delay, so now I see you guys. All right, let's move on. Final comment, and then we can chat for a bit. It's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna type a name into the chat, and it's the name of a person who comments all the time on, are you kidding me? It happened again. I know it's wrong. It's because I keep, it's the chat, it's the pop-out chat. It's screwing me over. All right, never mind. I'm not going to type a name in the comments. Sorry, everybody. I'm just going to record this as the stream refreshes. But I don't know what's happening right now with YouTube Live, but I think that means... Oh, and also, I'm getting a message that my internet speed's getting really bad. So apologies if it looks really bad. I think we're okay now. But all right, let's just record this last comment, and then we don't have to deal with this anymore. This last comment comes from somebody who comments all the time on YouTube and Twitter, and I'm so sorry that I would probably mispronounce your name so badly that I don't even want to try, because you're a lovely person, and I don't want to butcher your name just because I'm the whitest of men. All right, video skipped. All right, we're back. We're back, and we're back, and we're kicking. And I'll stop messing with the chat. Here we go. They say, this is actually quite interesting. It makes me think that the Avengers were first... then there's other groups of heroes having... Wait, hold on. Let me read this first, because it's a pretty long comment. And it makes me think that the Avengers were first, then those other groups of heroes having all those other names available, and yet... Oh, they were first... They were, like, ahead of the other groups. I gotcha. And the other names. And yet chose Avengers? I suppose that the creators wanted them to be more than defenders or guardians or protectors. Also, the Avengers has a cool ring to it. I think that other three names have the idea of preventing, and Avengers feels like it goes beyond. As Stark said, if they fail defending, protecting, and guarding the Earth, they will avenge it. Okay, good comment. They won't be aggressors. They won't attack you first, but if you cause them harm, they will avenge it. Cool. That's cool. Sorry, my internet's getting bad. I can tell. All right. We'll just say it here. They say, this is actually quite interesting. It makes me think that the Avengers were ahead of those other groups of heroes having all those other names available, and yet chose the Avengers. I suppose that the creators wanted them to be more than the defenders or guardians or protectors, and also the Avengers just has a cool ring to it. I think that the other three names have the idea of preventing, and Avengers feels like it goes beyond. As Stark said, if they fail defending, protecting, or guarding the Earth, they will avenge it. To which Grawfight23 responds, good comment. Good comment. They won't be the aggressors. They won't attack you first, but if you cause harm, they will avenge it. I really like that idea of the Avengers going beyond, because even if you have the Defenders or the Guardians or the Protectors, those are all ideas that could fail. You could fail. You could not protect someone. You could not guard someone. You could not defend someone. You could be bad at it. You could just fail at it. Whereas the Avengers are saying it doesn't matter, if we protect the Earth, if we guard the Earth, if we defend the Earth. What matters is we're going to avenge it, even in the scenario where we can't save everyone. And I really like that thought. I really like that comment. It kind of says that it's like the ultimate team where, like, yeah, they're probably going to fail sometimes, but they're going to go ahead. They're going to continue fighting regardless. Even if they can't stop a threat, they're going to avenge it. And I really like that. Huh, that's awesome. That's actually such a great comment that I'm going to reward. That's actually such a great comment that I'm going to reward. Award? That's a better word. That's a great comment, so much so that I'm going to award a second NerdSync No Prize. What? Unprecedented. Yes, you deserve it. You're awesome. You've got all these cool names with meanings, and then you've got the X-Men over here pretty much saying, yeah, we're like, we're X's. No, that's not what they're saying. But yeah, it's cool. I like it. I like it a lot. I live in the US. Why do I do this in the middle of the night? Because that's just kind of how my sleep schedule is at the moment. It might change. I don't know. It's very weird. I'm so hungry right now. I haven't eaten. I mean, I woke up today at like, I woke up proper today at like 4 p.m. So like I had a good amount of sleep, but I don't know. My sleep schedule's weird. Unprecedented double award. Get food. I know. Let me wrap this up and then we'll see if we can get a Domino's to order. All right. And I think that's going to do it for the comments this week, guys. Thank you so much for leaving all of your thoughts, all of your ideas, all of your questions and criticisms. I love them all, and I love you. Once again, if you want to watch these live streams as they happen, as I go over the comments, you want to see me repeat a bunch of stuff and see all the stuff that I edited out, you can go to the NerdSync Sidekick channel. I'll have it linked in the description below so you can check it out. We just passed 5,000 subscribers over there, which is pretty awesome considering I rarely plug it at all. So this is my big official plug of the channel. Go subscribe, NerdSync Sidekick. A lot of fun stuff over here. A lot of live streams. What else do I want to say? And of course, if you haven't seen those two videos, you can click right here to see the one about the real origin of J. Jonah Jameson, or you can click right down here to see what are the Avengers actually avenging. And of course, hit that big sexy subscribe button. And of course, hit that big sexy subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos here from NerdSync. You can also hit the bell icon if you want to join the notification squad, my favorite nerds on the internet. But until next time, my name is Scott, reminding you to read between the panels and grow smarter through comics. See ya. Oh, that's close enough. If I order you pizza, will I watch My Hero Academia? Sure, but I feel like you'd need to know my address, and I'm not going to give that information out to anybody. So no. I need to get better at outros. I don't have like a consistent thing that I don't have a consistent order, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I'll shut down OBS. Oh wait, no, I won't because we're still streaming. What am I talking about? You really like these small streams because I can be sure that you have read my comments, even the weird ones. That's right. Give me a P.O. box. I don't think that works. I'd have to go to the post office and just wait and then walk back with a pizza. Amazing. Let me actually, everyone stick around as I try to order Domino's. All right. Domino's pizza. I have a Domino's right up the road. So it probably wouldn't take long for them to deliver. Man, I'm really craving pizza. And I have 40 out of 60 points, whatever that means. I guess I get a free pizza after 20 more points. Let's go to order online, delivery, my address. You guys can't see my screen, can you? That would be horrible if you just got to see my home address right now. Continue for delivery. If I put pineapples on my pizza, hey man, I'm not a monster. Actually, my family, my mom and my brother put pineapples on pizza. But here's the thing. I used to hate pineapple on pizza. I'm kind of indifferent towards it now. I don't really have a strong opinion one way or the other. I like it sometimes. I like it, but only with other certain ingredients. I used to hate pineapple on pizza specifically because it was almost always paired with ham. And I realized it wasn't the pineapples I hated. It was the ham. I don't like ham, just in general. I don't like ham on sandwiches, on pizza, on its own. I'm not a big ham fan. Unless it's Hamilton. Haha, sorry. But yeah. Pineapple on its own is fine. But wait, can I do this? No. Wait. Yes. Wait, no? Yes. No. I can't. They might be open to 2, but they stopped taking deliveries. The next available delivery time is 10:30 a.m. That's upsetting to me. Oh well. Ham on pizza is a pizza. I think ham, yes, I think ham on pizza is more of a crime than pineapple on pizza, and I will take that opinion to my grave. You guys, I will never change my mind about that. That's in the Spider-Ham universe. We need a pig version of Hamilton called Hamilton. You're not wrong. I'm trying to think. I can't really order anything else at the moment, I don't think. Well, hey, thanks everyone for joining. If you have to get off now, I know the main event is over, so no worries if you gotta leave. We recorded, how many video files? Individual files. 24 different files. That's pretty cool. That's different for me. Normally I record everything all at once. I've never really done multiple files at the same time, so that'll be pretty interesting to edit. Because you live right next to, yeah, maybe. Oh, of course BoJack did a Hamilton joke. That makes sense. Yes, I remember that now. Boy, I gotta rewatch BoJack. That's a fun show. Impromptu kitchen sink live stream. Well, what do you guys want to talk about? Hey, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, please do that. It's just at Scott and Ice Wonder. I posted a lot of pictures of myself. That's pretty fun. And Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I need to start plugging Instagram and Twitter in videos, because I feel like I should have more followers based on the fan base of the YouTube channel. But I don't know. Do you guys not like me? I get it. Yeah. Who is excited for Infinity War? I am. I'm not seeing it opening night. I'm actually seeing Infinity War the day after. I'm seeing it opening day, Friday, and then I'm seeing it again Saturday, because I figured I'd want to see it again. I'm going to see it first in IMAX, and then secondly in Dolby Cinema. So I'm going to kind of compare and contrast which one I like more. I feel like I'll like the Dolby theater more than the IMAX one. IMAX is good. Dolby's good. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, people asking why I stopped using Snapchat. I just didn't really care for it as much. I stopped using Instagram to use Snapchat, and then I realized that, I don't really care about Snapchat. I like Instagram more, if I'm being honest. And there's no point in really having both. I know some people can do that. Some people can have both, and they balance it well. I don't know how. All the stuff I would post to Snapchat, I would just post to Instagram stories. So, there's no point in me having both of them. But yeah. Seeing Infinity War with my little sister the week after it comes out. A canceled Batman musical. That sounds interesting. A fun time. Ugh, sorry. I lost all my energy after after this, and then now I'm really soaking in the fact that I'm just so hungry all the time. So let's start a second live stream where I build some more Legos and continue not to eat. Who do I think's gonna die in Infinity War? Probably. I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions. Yeah, I don't. I think some people, maybe, you know what? Honestly, I wouldn't put it past them if they just didn't kill anybody. That sounds like something Marvel would do. Marvel would want to leave the door open for people. And I would hate that. I kind of do want them to kill people. But, yeah. Social eating live stream. Sign off and eat. What if Tony Stark is the Soul Stone? What if he's the soul of the MCU and they have to kill him to get the stone, and then that's how Thanos gets the completed Infinity Gauntlet? That's how cool it is. It's like meta, because he started it all, man. I mean, not chronologically, but in our world, yeah. I don't know what kind of voice that is. He costs too much money. You're not wrong. Exclusive scoop, the person who dies. I want them to kill people. No, I don't want them to kill people. Quicksilver is the one who will die. Oh, man. Man. I gotta be honest with you guys. Can we have some real talk? Can we have some real talk right now, the 26 of you guys who are watching still? Let me know in the chat if you want some real talk. Or you just want me to sign off and go eat. Leave a comment if you want me to go eat. Leave a comment if you want me to real talk. Oh, we have go eat. We have real talks. I don't know. It's up in the air. I don't know what's gonna happen. You want some fake talk, please? That's hungry talk. Keep streaming and eat. Real talk. Eat and real talk. Real talk and eat. I'm glad you guys are having a lot of the same thoughts. Real talk and eat at the same time. All right, let me see if there's anything I can just snack on while I give some real talk. Hey, stick around. I will BRB. So I thought to myself, Scott, what would be the most obnoxious, funny thing you could eat on a live stream? And I looked in my bag, or I looked in my fridge, rather, and I found a bag of very loud, crunchy carrots. Now, the way I have the mic set up, you probably can't hear that much crunching when I'm just chewing it. But I think the initial crunch is funny enough. Sparta, my lovely cat back there. What a legend. All right. Now that I've had 3 carrots. I'm crunching on them. I don't have... Yeah, baby carrots with ranch are great. I don't have ranch. I meant to buy hummus. I forgot. So I've got carrots and celery in there. Celery would also be a funny one to eat. Alright, who wants some real talk? Some real chats. This is going to be something I'm probably going to regret talking about. Not because it's anything with drama. But just because it's probably a bit too honest for a content creator to be in regards to working with other brands. But I like being open and honest with you guys. I like telling you how it is. While I crunch on carrots. Very obnoxiously. Yeah. Everyone get on one knee. If you're out in public, if you're in your room, if you're in your parents' living room, if you're driving, don't do it if you're driving. The crunching is never not funny to me. Alright, sorry. So right now, in LA, a bunch of other great nerdy YouTubers, like my friends. So I want you to be clear, I'm not hating on these people because I love them and I genuinely respect our friendship. Eris from Variant, Danny from Isma Hawk, I think Sean Long, his whole thing, probably other people that I admire and love deeply inside of my heart's genuinely truthful. They're all in LA right now, going to the premiere of Avengers Infinity War. That's going to be happening tomorrow for them. Due to a company called, or thanks to a company called Comic Cave. Now, I love Comic Cave. They make great stuff. I've had some of their figures on my set for the longest period of time. They made the Hulkbuster that I had. Not the Pop Funko Hulkbuster, but like the actual one. I think that was only briefly on my set, to be honest. I mostly have it on my desk. So it's really cool. I have so many different versions of Hulkbuster, from the Lego one now to the Comic Cave to the Funko Pop one. And like I said, Comic Cave is great. They invited me out to the Captain America Civil War premiere a couple years back. That was the first time that they were working with Marvel. And our job, including myself and Eris and Andre from Black Nerd and Sean Long and other people, our job was to hang out on the red carpet and just get a lot of pictures with celebrities and just kind of tweet about it or Instagram it or Snapchat it, stuff like that. But after the first time they invited me out, is the chat still going? Or are you guys just kind of sitting there listening to my story? Let me do a carrot break. So after the first time they invited me out, and that was a great idea. It was really fun. I thought it was a really awesome, fun time. It was like probably the most fun I've had. It was the first time I'd ever done anything like that. I got to wear a pink bow tie and take pictures with like Clark Gregg and Stan Lee. But the problem was that, I think the problem was anyway, the reason that they invite Eris back and Sean back and all these other people, they keep inviting them back and they don't invite me back, is because I imagine it's because they don't think that I'm aggressive enough for like the red carpet, because they put you in this tiny, tiny area. It's not like you're freely walking the red carpet. They put you in this tiny little condensed area where Comic Cave has packed like close to a dozen people, and only a handful of people can even be in the front. So if you're in the back, it's hard to just get pictures of celebrities. You have to push I have to push like Eris out of the way. And he also has to get pictures of people. So like, me being the kind of courteous person that I am, just kind of hung in the back for a long period of time because I didn't want to shove everybody out of the way. I didn't want to like, grab celebrities and be like, selfie. And I didn't want to push Eris or Andre or Sean out of the way to get pictures of people, because they also had to get pictures of people, and we all wanted to get pictures with people. So it was, I don't know, I was a little too courteous, I think, and they even kind of confronted me about that when I was trying to get a picture with Stan Lee. I missed getting a picture of Stan Lee initially, and they said that I wasn't being aggressive enough. And I was like, aggressive towards Stan Lee? You want me to like yell at Stan Lee and say, hey, old man, get over here, let me take a picture with you? Eventually, I did get a picture with Stan Lee because other people like Eris and other people who were there were pointing him back in my direction, saying, get a picture with Scott, get a picture with Scott. And so, I mean, so obviously huge thanks to them, but I think it was because of that interaction, because I couldn't internally like be a pushy shovey kind of guy. They just don't invite me back to those events. And I feel it's upsetting. Like, obviously I'm super happy for people, for my friends, for being able to continue to go. But I mean, obviously there is a little bit of there was a little bit of want there, a little bit of jealousy there, where I wish I could be in that spot again because I had so much fun the first time. Um, and I want to do it again. But and I've tried to contact Comma Cave again and be like, hey, let me know if you guys are doing this again. I would love to come out and hang and you'd be a part of the experience again. And they just don't really want anything to do with NerdSync anymore, I think. So, and I mean, I'm projecting it could be that thing. It could be other things. It could be that like not enough people watched my video about being on the red carpet of Civil War because that's not really what the fan base is about. My fan base likes to learn about things, not just see a vlog of me, reviewing, being on the red carpet. I don't think that's necessarily what people are for. People really aren't here to watch me. They're here to get information. So, yeah, I have to. I'll answer. I'm looking at the chat now. You were just a marketing device? Absolutely. That was the deal. It's not like they were just bringing us out because they were fans of our channel, right? That's not really how it works. They were inviting us out because we needed to promote their stuff. We were nerdy influencers. I hate the term influencers, but that's kind of the thing that's the term in the industry. And they wanted us to use our social media. For me, it was, I think, Instagram or Twitter, and Snapchat was definitely one of them for me. I think it was Instagram and Snapchat, maybe all three. But they wanted us to use our social media and just take pictures with celebrities and always like use a hashtag CommaCave or tag CommaCave, and kind of, plug their stuff because they're working with Marvel. They're there to promote their own material. They're having us, promote their material. And again, I like CommaCave. I like the stuff that they make. I'm not hating on them. I just feel like, I don't know. I just don't like the idea of being shovey and pushy towards not only the celebrities who are there who don't have to take pictures of us, but also to my friends who I have to shove out of the way and say, no, I'm more important right now. I need to take a picture with this person. Even though we all have to do that. So I understand. I mean, if that's obviously what they're looking for, then I get it. I get why I'm not invited back anymore. But again, I'm just projecting. A big part of it is they're radio silent, and I wish they had told me why at least, But next time, try peacocking your look on the red carpet. Well, that's the problem. It's not going to be a next time. But I would love to do it. I think, I've got comic book suits that I would love to use, on a red carpet thing. But I don't know. I would love to do that. I would love to do it again. There's no solution, so please don't do anything. Please don't reach out to Comic Cave and be like, why don't you invite NerdSync to things? I mean, certainly don't do it because you think that's what I want. But if it's what you want, then do whatever. But I don't know. Feels manipulative. Speaking of pushiness, has anyone seen recent footage of Stan Lee signing things? He looks dead. Yeah, I feel really bad about that guy. I feel really bad about Stan Lee. I mean, I'm glad that I got to take a picture with him and I got to meet him. That was a part of my bucket list, and I was running out of time, and I'm glad that actually did happen, but man, I don't know. Yeah, the comic line suits. I really wanted to get one of those, but they're expensive. Yeah. Maybe I can do a giveaway. Maybe I can talk to fun.com and do a giveaway. A problem is I haven't really promoted their stuff either. They sent me comic book suits, 2 of them, and I did a really bad job of promoting that because I meant to do it in a video and I never got around to it. Scott Nicewander. Good guy. That's me. Yeah. I feel bad for Stan Lee recently. he does look like he's kind of depressed. So, RKVC are done now. Oh, are they doing a thing? My bad. I'm just crunching on some carrots. I meant to go get a glass of water too, but I forgot. But yeah, anyway. I didn't get pizza because Domino's was closed, so I'm eating a bag of really crunchy carrots because I thought it would be funny. Yeah. But anyway, that's my story about why I'm not invited to red carpets anymore, I guess. So like during times like this, sorry, I hit the microphone. During times like this, when, you know, I follow all these people on Instagram and Twitter and everywhere else, it's hard not to see their posts and just be like, just get a little sad inside and be like, well, good for them, but boy, kind of wish that was me again. When life makes it difficult to eat fatty, Scott eats healthy. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the kind words. Anyway, I guess that's the end of my real talk. I shouldn't really complain. It's just because I had a lot of fun the first time. But like, yeah, it's food ASMR. But I keep looking back there because I was gonna say, like, I shouldn't really complain because I still do get a lot of perks for being a quote unquote internet influencer. Like, I got the big box of Lego stuff. I still get those occasionally. From Lego. They sent me codes. WB sent me codes for video games so I could play Injustice 2, which I still haven't done on a stream, and I need to do that. So everyone can see it. See me fail at how bad I am. So, you know, there are still perks like that. And I do appreciate those. I really do. I love Lego as a company. I love WB for continuing to include NerdSync, even though I don't really promote the stuff that they send me. They just send it regardless, which is very nice of them to do. Which cat? Yeah, that's Pumpkin. Not Sparta. I have 2 cats. And they never are going to tell you why you don't want them. Yeah. Spider-Man PS4? Who knows? Maybe there'll be a Spider-Man PS4. I tweeted about this before, but like, freaking, I haven't even shown all the stuff that Lego sent. And they're so nice. They sent that big Infinity Gauntlet box back there, which is very sweet of them to do. But the best thing that I think they sent me was a Fandango gift card for $25 so that I could actually go watch the movie. Previously, I hadn't bought a ticket yet, and I was actually kind of worried that I wouldn't be able to afford a ticket, but because of them, they were able to send, I was able to buy not 1, but 2 tickets, and also a 3rd ticket for Deadpool as well. So, huge props to Lego. Lego's my favorite right now. Not just because they sent me stuff, but also because I've always been a huge Lego fan. Pumpkin. Yeah, that's Pumpkin. Sparta's down here now. I don't know if you can see him. But Andre is making and promoting video every week. They could just think they really want to promote all that stuff in that way. Yeah, like I said, I could just be projecting. That was the only negative experience that I had with them, was them telling me to be more pushy. It could very well be that they didn't think my audience was the best audience for them. Maybe they looked at, conversions or sales and they realized that, you guys, as great as you are, as wonderful as you are, just weren't interested in buying their product and they don't want to involve NerdSync anymore. And that could very well be the case. So. And also, they gave me stuff. That's right. Can you wish me a quick recovery? Absolutely. Get well soon. Not Scott. Yeah, you gotta get better. Poor. Wow. I'm talking about like buying Comic Cave stuff. They're pretty expensive. But yeah. I don't know. I don't want to project too much. I don't want to speculate too much. I'm just going off of my experience with them. They're, like I said, I like their stuff. They were very nice to me at the time. And they certainly haven't done anything negative. They certainly haven't done anything terrible to me other than just not invite me to things and just kind of not tell me why. But that's nothing. It's just a little bit just a little bit sad to think about. They didn't accidentally blacklist my email address because I've emailed them before, and they've emailed me before too. Just about things like changes to their their staffing or something like that. And they were like, "Hey, we're gonna have someone else handle your your work with Comic Cave." And I said, "Great. Does this mean I can come back?" And they were like, "We'll see." No. Anyway. Good night to everyone who needs to go to sleep now. That's the end of Real Talk. 5 minutes later, still Real Talk. Well, it's because more people are watching. I don't know what the deal is. They just like my carrot sounds. Anyway. Whew. Anyway. I probably might have to leave too, just because I want something more substantial than carrots. I feel like I'm going to cook some tacos or something. But everyone's gossip sense were tingling. Yeah. Come for the comic book, stay for the carrot sounds. YK, how's it going? You're awesome. Carrots finally got you the ASMR crowd you always wanted. Taco Tuesday! It is Monday, my dude. Appreciate it. Oops, someone upstairs is running. It's 1:43 a.m. for me. I shouldn't be saying it's a surprise since I'm awake during this time, but freaking my neighbors upstairs are always in the weird hours of the night just running. You can't hear it, but they're sprinting. It's weird. Kitchen sink. Yeah, that's what it is. Did I play any of the Lego superhero games? I tried. I tried playing Marvel, and I played a little bit of the Marvel Heroes or whatever. I played a little bit of Lego Batman 2, I think. I've also played some of the Star Wars games. I've never finished. I'm just bad at finishing video games in general. It has nothing to do with Lego. It just has everything to do with my ability to finish video games or my inability to finish video games, which is why I'm currently enjoying more open-ended games like Sea of Thieves or just the classic Overwatch, because those don't really have an end. Really, they just keep going. Oh, you can hear it? Okay. Cool. They're just pounding up. There's someone just running back and forth. You can hear it go from one end to the other end. I don't get it. I have an Xbox One and a PS4 Slim and a GameCube, but I don't think I've played any games on the GameCube. I bought a GameCube because it was a couple bucks, and I was like, yeah, I'll get one of these. Um, favorite non-comic book superhero. Danny Phantom's up there. Danny Phantom might be the one. I might have to agree with you on that one. I loved me some Danny Phantom. I was a huge fan of all things superhero growing up. I didn't realize it. I don't like it was something I look back on and go, "Oh yeah, I liked that because there were superheroes in it." So like Danny Phantom is a really great example of that. So many other things though too. There's a I think it's a Disney Channel original movie called like Up Up and Away, which is about a superhero family and their weakness was tinfoil. It was really funny, really wacky, but I enjoyed it. And again, because it was superheroes. When you announced your GameCube, I tweeted you a list of games I recommend. Yeah, I don't think I've played any of them just because I can't find GameCube games as easily. I borrowed some from my friend Drake, but I haven't played those. He gave me Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, and some other game about robots. I think they're over there. Maybe I gave him. I think I gave him back because he was moving and he wanted his games back. Oh, Sky High. I like Sky High too, man. Sky High is great. It has a lot of like really funny people in it. Power Rangers comics. Sorry, no, I saw that you were talking about it before. No, I haven't read any Power Rangers comics. Sorry. Enjoy these videos where you are on here for hours. Makes me think I have a friend. Aw. Why do you think you like superheroes so much? What draws you in? You know, that's a really great question, and I really don't know the answer to it. There's just something about superheroes I love, and you know, I came to that realization a couple years ago, which is that I like comic books, but I love superheroes. I love superheroes more than I like comic books, and the reason that I like comic books is because it's like the best place to find superhero stories. There are movies, there are TV shows, there are cartoons, there are video games, but like the place where you will find the most abundant comic book or the most abundant superhero stories is in the comic books. And I don't know why I like I don't know why I like superheroes so much. I think it's just because they're so cool to look at, you know? They got costumes, they've got superpowers, which is like, who doesn't want a superpower? Who doesn't want to have, you know, something like the ability to fly or the ability to stop time or something? I don't know. Like the TV show Heroes was another one that I was pretty involved in for a bit. I don't know. It was just there's just something about superheroes I like. I think it's the design. I think it's having, you know, a superpower where you can just kind of do whatever you want with it. You know? I don't know. I guess I always imagined I you know, as a kid with a wild imagination, I always had this idea of like what superpower I would want and like how would I use it, and wouldn't it be cool if I could just like, you know, have the ability to freeze people into ice or something like that, or the ability to like lift something up like people wouldn't expect me to be as strong as I am, but I am. I don't know. Yeah, superheroes are modern day mythology. Absolutely. They're more so just American mythology for the most part. Yeah, they're just interesting. I don't know. So 2 questions that are interesting. Number 1, did I ever make my own comic book or comic book characters as a kid or teen? Absolutely. I made countless. I couldn't draw very well. I had my friend Josh draw a lot of them. We worked on a couple characters together, a couple comic books together that didn't really go quite as far as I wanted them to, because we were very ambitious. But we couldn't get along. We had a lot of creative disagreements. And I was also jealous that he could draw better than I could. So I was very hot-headed about that. But yeah, I don't know. I drew so many characters. I had so many ideas for characters in comic books, comic book ideas. I tried drawing my own. They weren't very good. They were actually terrible. I would start with like a kid in high school and like the school would just explode like a nuclear bomb went off. And that would be his origin. Like, I wouldn't deal with the fact that, like, the dark thought of someone nuked a city in modern day America, and there's got to be fallout, both literally and figuratively, with that whole situation. No, instead I was like, superhero. So I don't know. I did a lot of that. There's another question about what superpower do I want? I know I've thought a lot about this. Practically, the superpower that I would want is the ability to go back in time, but not influence it. I don't want to go back in time and create alternate timelines or anything like that. I want to go back in time and observe it. I would like to go, back to, any point in history that I wanted to, and just kind of be a fly on the wall and just kind of watch and see what people were like, what people said, it would be a great character who could like solve crimes, because you could just go back in time and be like, this guy did it. But I would use it for purely selfish reasons, for just being like, I want to see what happened during this date between, these historical figures, and see what really went down. I think that would be really cool. Yeah, like kind of being like a time ghost. That would be like the name of the comic book. The Time Ghost. I'm sure there's already one like that. That would be funny. Everything is spheres, cubes, and cylinders. I had a lot of art books growing up. I don't know. I didn't practice enough. I would just kind of copy what's on the page and be like, I can draw. Yeah. I spent a lot of money on art books. Just never really clicked with me. I could never really, it's just because I didn't practice. I could have practiced more, but I didn't. You'd want reality. Yeah, be in the room where it happened. That's pretty much right. I'd want reality control, but that's cheating. I'd like to be able to enter a fictional world. Any book, show, or game would be my playground. That would be cool. That would be really cool. So long as there's not like a terrible rule, like if you die in the fiction, you die in real life. If I could choose one power, I'd choose the power to make people misremember trivia. But just like slightly, right? Like someone would be like, what's the real name of Batman? And they'd be like, it's Bryce Wayne, right? Bryce Wayne? And then be like, so close. I'm not a great artist, but I would love to try and flesh out your superheroes. I don't even remember what they are anymore, if I'm being honest. I never wrote them down anywhere that I still have anyway. So, I don't know. Yeah. I'd love to make a comic someday with somebody, with like a really good artist. That would be a lot of fun. Make an actual NerdSync comic book. I don't know what it would be. It would be about superheroes. I know that the comic book medium is great for telling all kinds of stories, but like, I just love superheroes, man. The Plaid Lantern Corps by Scott Nicewander. That's right. I don't even wear that much plaid anymore, really. I'm trying not to. Scott the Time Ghost. Actually, let's make a comic book called The Time Ghost. That would be fun. I bet I first have to look up to see if that's already a thing, because it can't not be. But I would love to make a Time Ghost comic book. That sounds fun. I would want to make it a period piece though. I wouldn't want to set it in modern day. I'm pitching my idea right now. I would want to do a Time Ghost piece, but he's like a Victorian age kind of detective, that would be very fun for me. I like that era a lot. I think it lends itself to some good stories Because instead of, you know, you don't have like security cameras or like people with cell phones. You have just like people who actually, and I feel like ghosts really fit well in that time period too. Victorian detective time ghost. uh His arch enemy is a live clock. That's good. Start writing it. Start writing Time Ghost. All right. You're hosting Nerdy Thursday on May 3rd on your radio program. Any good nerdy songs to suggest? I need some comic book music. Yeah. I got some good ones for you. Pretty much anything by Jonathan Colton is good nerdy music. There's a great song called Aquaman. I think it's by Grandpa Griffith or something like that. If that's what it's called, the band name. It's really awesome. There's also some great songs about Superman, obviously. Five for Fighting is a classic one. There's also there's a Ballad of Jimmy Olsen. I can't remember who does that one, but that's a really great one. There's a really, I don't even know if they're a band anymore, but there's a band called I think it's called The All Caps, or just All Caps or something like that. They make some really fun nerdy music. They even had, my favorite thing about that band is they had an acoustic EP called like Lowercase. I love that. There's a really great, this isn't superhero related, but there's a really great band called the Ministry of Magic that's all about Harry Potter, and they make some awesome music. And I haven't listened to them in ages. I have to go back and listen to them. They're so good. They're so good. Oh. Let's see here. That's kind of interesting. Unless Time Ghost can go back in time and instantly solve any case. If he could cause changes in time, but he doesn't, it could be more interesting. Yeah. The Time Ghost sounds like the title of a hard-boiled noir detective story, right? That's what I was thinking. That's why I want it kind of in that either Victorian era or at least just some old, you know, definitely not modern day. I want it to be more in the past, a period piece, maybe noir. That'd be good. How about in Time Ghost, you solve restless spirits' unsolved mysteries by entering their memories. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. What if he can't become a human? What if he or she, actually I like the idea that it's a female character. What if she can solve crimes by going back in time and observing them, but she can't communicate it to people, so she has to figure out ways to do so. Like maybe making the clues more relevant. Maybe she can affect things, but she can't affect people, you know? So like maybe she has to like make clues more apparent, make you know, I don't know. Something cool like that. Female heroes, unrealistic. So then there's a time limit and a chance to change the past. That's interesting. I want there to be a rule if that was the case. Like not something arbitrary, not like you have 48 hours, because it's like, why? But if it was something like you can set up the fiction in their universe. Like, what if it's something about like you have until they're buried, you know? However long that takes for the family to get in order. Once they're buried, something about their essence, their soul or whatever is kind of evaporated and you can't go back in time and solve their, thing. I don't know. Just set up a reason. Yeah, exactly. Every rule has to have a reason. So there's a ticking clock. That's kind of a cool idea. I like that idea. Time in limbo before their souls are judged. All right. It's kind of interesting. Because ghosts can't travel through boxes. Exactly. I don't know. We'll think about this. We'll think about it more. We have about 5 minutes left. Let's do the What about the ghost box? The box ghost. You're right. I am the box ghost. I can't do that voice very well. Ghost lawyer. All right. Well, we have 5 minutes left. Let's do rapid fire rounds. Any other Q&A you want to do? Or just messages you want to send? You want to set it in a future like Metropolis? I don't want to do that. I like the past a bit more. How is Superman buff? Because the radiation from the sun supercharges his cells and makes them just like constantly work overtime, I guess, and that just makes him really strong or something. I don't know. Comics. What Hamilton character are you? I'm Madison. Because I'm barely there. And I just kind of like walk around quietly with like a handkerchief. Like, where's it at? I had a handkerchief somewhere. Yeah. I'm just like kind of in the back somewhere. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm Samuel Seabury. That's who I am. I make an appearance once, and that's the end of it. Can we just appreciate how awesome Peter Capaldi would be as JJJ for a moment? We already did that. But yes, that would be a great idea. You think the Victorian area is easy to write for anyone that doesn't have a degree in CSI? Also, My Hero Academia NerdSync video. I'll get around to it. Maybe not. I don't want to promise anything. Who knows? I mean, maybe I could talk with Jeff from Mother's Basement. He'd have a lot of things to say about it. Did we already do? I think he had me in one of his videos. At the very least, I filmed something with him about it, I think. I don't know if it ever went up on his channel. I don't remember him tagging me in anything. But we met up at VidCon and we made like a really short video about that. I can't remember. Anyway. So like Metropolis is a 20s, 30s version of the future, which is now basically the past. So kind of like a retro future vibe. I dig that. Maybe. I wanted to make a video about retro futurism. I can't remember why, what it would be connected to, other than like maybe Batman Beyond. I don't know. It's a good idea. Have you ever read Going Sane, the Batman comic with a Joker killing Batman and Joker loses his insanity in a way? I've never read it. I've seen that referenced a bunch when talking about the Joker's sanity. But yeah, I've never read it. Please do make a retro futurism video. That would be awesome. I think that would be cool. Maybe we would do a Batman Beyond. Maybe we'll do a Batman Beyond kind of retrospective about retro futurism. Kind of like doubling up on the retro bit. That'd be fun. I loved Batman Beyond. I would love to talk about it again. It had so many awesome ideas and kind of mature storylines that were just really awesome. I can't believe they were able to get away with it. Yeah, so we have a lot of people. Retroception. We have a couple people wanting the retrofuturism. I will write that down. Let me write that down really quickly before I forget. Or put that in my Trello folder. Batman Beyond and retro Retrofuturism. All right, it's officially on the list. There you go. Talking about retro is so retro. I can't see why you wouldn't make this video. Awesome. Well, great, gang. Less than a minute left. You can still ask questions. I might answer a few of them, but I just want to say, hey, thanks for joining. It's been 3 hours. It helps the channel out a lot, I think. We can finally reach the 4,000 hour watch time. We're about 92% of the way there. So appreciate ya. Well, all right. We'll see you guys in the next one of these. We'll try not to make it so far in between. Look tomorrow or later today for this video up on the main channel. If I can edit it in time, that would be a lot of fun. If I can't edit it in time, we might save it for the next week. Who knows? All right. Bye, everyone. In 5 more seconds or so. All right. Oh, wait. I get to do the thing where I stare into the camera for a bit. Here we go.